there's a party, alright. We don't need a reason for joy, oh yeah. Take it down to midnight, and it's gotta be bright, so the groove can make me move, oh yeah. Feeling like, feeling just as fly. Can't stop dancing all night long, jumping up, shake it up, move your body. Don't stop the music all night long, keep it on, it's your Friday night. I'm ready to go tonight. Yeah, there's a party, alright. We don't need a reason for joy, oh yeah. Take it down to midnight, and it's gotta be bright, so the groove can make me move, oh yeah. Feeling like, feeling just as fly. Can't stop dancing all night long, jumping up, shake it up, move your body. Don't stop the music all night long, keep it on, it's your Friday night. I'm ready to go tonight. Yeah, there's a party, alright. We don't need a reason for joy, oh yeah. Take it down to midnight, and it's gotta be bright, so the groove can make me move, oh yeah. Feeling like, feeling just as fly. Can't stop dancing all night long, jumping up, shake it up, move your body. Don't stop the music all night long, keep it on, it's your Friday night. What?
Hey now, hey now.
Hey now. So for those who don't know, these guys did like a recap stream earlier today. Side scrollers basically talking about what went down, and they were not positive at all. And then people told Phil about this, and now Phil is going to react to their reaction to the interview. So that's happening at his late stream. So I decided to start a little earlier tonight so that we can get through this, and then I'm probably not going to restream that just because by then I'm probably going to be tired and stuff, and also because I know it's going to be a fucking slog to watch. So I might just catch the clips later, but at least this will be done, so people who want to watch it can. So let's get into this.
You know, like I feel like a lot of this conversation, Phil, has been you like it's been denied, and it's, I don't know, that's not true. That didn't happen. But you haven't really given any facts to back it up. I feel like just across the board, there's this entire mountain of evidence here that's saying, these are the things that Phil does. These are the things that has happened. And you're just saying, well, no, it's not. And
I didn't say no, it's not. I said,
or that's not true. Or that's not my account. That's not me. That's not my. You know what I mean? Like that's all I'm saying. It just when there's a mountain of evidence, you can't just say like, well, no, that's not true.
There is definitely a reason why I'm in the position I'm in. This stuff doesn't happen overnight. This is 15 years of me all day, every day, putting myself on the internet, making mistakes. When I started 15 years ago, there was no groundwork of seeing, oh, here's someone who's done it, and here's the right things and wrong things to do. And I made tons of these mistakes over the years. Like I was just saying, that clip's from 2015. When that happened, I'm sure everyone called me. I said, how dare you make threats against that person, even if they've hurt you? Oh, you know what? You're right. I probably shouldn't have said that, and now I won't do that stuff anymore. And then maybe I did it again. I don't know. But I'm doing my best.
You don't know. It just happened.
Those same mistakes.
Look at fucking
I absolutely do.
Adam.
What I would say is, and Craig, I have no clue if you did this or anyone else. If you just watch a stream of mine, just come by one day, watch half an hour of the stream.
I'd say Adam was a fucking.
Like
sorry, I need to just show this one thing first. Hold on.
Look, there is something to the idea of people picking and choosing things that people say during interviews, during streams, during whatever, right? There is absolutely something to that. And it only takes, 10 seconds to screw things up, right? I totally understand that. But it just, Adam, you said something yesterday when we were talking about this. Do you want to, you're talking about a collection of moments. Do you want to kind of say what you were saying yesterday? I don't want to steal your thunder on that.
I don't remember what we were talking about.
Well, you were saying that in the event of these collections that your detractors put together of you saying these things, there's a lot of them. Like there's a lot. And if you were to go through most people over the last, most people just in general, there wouldn't be as many. They wouldn't be as long. There's just a lot to sift through. And maybe you have a
What?
For most people, there wouldn't be as many and they wouldn't be as long. Wow.
more watchful eye on you than most people. But it just seems like there's a lot there, man. And I think that's probably the biggest thing here.
I think you're right. I think it comes with being one of the most prolific content creators of gaming that have
prolific
over 100.
What?
There's that illusions of grandeur.
No, I don't care. I'm not saying it's good content. I'm saying it's just habit. You can say it's shit. I don't care. But when I put myself.
Oh, thank you, Shroom Dukin. I never said it was. I love how I said it. Never said it was good. And Adam was like, you know what? He shut me up right there.
Out there that much, there's just that much more to microanalyze. And when I'm a small time guy, and you see concretely, oh, if we make that video about Phil, number one, you're getting the clickbait views. You're getting money because you're probably running ads on the video, or people are donating to you to continue to make fun of me. This is how you don't play. I became the whipping boy of the internet. People made entire channels that were profitable based off just making fun of me, right? So when I'm out there as the target and people realize, well, people have been doing this for years and they get away with it. This started making fun of my gameplay. Then it became make fun of him and his mannerisms, make fun of his family members, make fun of, it kept going big, as much as you can, as toxic as you can. And that's what I mean. Like, I feel like I'm the one, it's me and others. They call us lolcows, correct? It's the term that's used, lolcows.
Right, lolcows, yeah.
So you got Wings of Redemption, you got Boogie. We're targets because we make mistakes repeatedly. We all do. And sometimes we make the same mistakes over and over. I feel that other content creators make those same mistakes too. Maybe not.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
Yeah, I make those same mistakes too. I'm a content creator. Yeah, I go and accidentally make racist jokes on stream all the time. Oops, I'm sorry, guys. I'm a content creator. It's just what happens.
Much as us, maybe not to the extremes that we do. But those other content creators are big and they have ginormous audiences that back them and defend them. The crazy stuff. The other day I saw a video of Moist Critical picking up an assault rifle in his video. If I picked up an assault rifle, I'd be off the internet. That would be ending for me.
Okay.
I'm out of here. Right? It doesn't even matter what the context is. If I pick up a weapon,
but I think it does.
I'll be off the internet.
But it very much does. It very much does.
Yeah. Does he not know? Wasn't that a shotgun he picked up, or it wasn't like an assault rifle?
Out of the context, right? Like if
you need some context.
What he was doing was he was making a point. I saw the video you're speaking of, and he was talking about some beef he has with some other guy. I don't really know the whole deal, but the guy that he was talking to was talking about clips. He was talking about clipping streams and clipping, and the guy who was kind of threatening him with a gun, who was talking about the clips, and he's like, no, listen, that's not a clip, this is a magazine, and he was explaining these things in context of.
By the way, that was
I think context very, very much does.
Fucking Moist Critical and this guy could really cut, like, if we have a thing of like most brutal people of the week, you know, Moist about whatever the fuck the guy's name is, and then this guy with Phil. I mean, goddamn.
It is against terms of service on YouTube to be live while holding any gun.
Well, he wasn't live. He wasn't live. Yeah.
Oh, he wasn't live. It was a video.
Yeah, it was a video. So
then there's nothing wrong with it.
He may be demonetized and such, but well, so let me say this, Phil. You look, you have your detractors. You have people who very much want to see you fail, or enjoy seeing you fail, or laugh seeing you fail. That does not sound very fun to me, right? It doesn't sound like something that I would want to be a part of. Have you thought about going to therapy or anything along those lines to help you get through this? Because this is obviously not an easy life that you've chosen for yourself. I mean, there's a lot to talk about, and I would imagine that going to talk to somebody, therapy is not a bad word. It's a very good thing for a lot of people, to where you can just go and get these things off your chest and talk about these things. Have you considered that ever?
At one point I did, for sure. I would say probably around, like I told you, around 2016 was one of the worst years of my life. I hated my job. My personal life was falling apart. But I've never formally talked to anyone. I'm not anti-therapy or anything like that. But no, I've just never gotten to that point where I've considered doing or seriously pursued that.
I'm just throwing this out there. Is it because you think that it's not you, it's everyone else?
No.
That's the feeling I get.
I'm a flawed human, man.
I know you've admitted your flaws from the past. Like you say, like, yes, back in 2015 I said that fucked up shit, and I took that, you know, this is how not to play, way wrong, and I admit that now. But it's like, it's really easy to do that, right? To convince someone that you've changed. Not saying that that's what you're doing, but it could be. All right. So it's like, you know, it feels kind of like you can do no wrong almost, and that's the vibe I'm getting. And
I could do no wrong. That
no, like not in your past, but it does feel like you kind of have like, well, I've changed, so people should understand that, and like I don't know. It's just a vibe that I'm getting, that because there's been so many times where we've asked a question and your response was instantly blaming other people, and that was a consistent answer throughout the entire 3 hours and 10 minutes that we've been live. So you know, it's like a dishing responsibility elsewhere.
I think that's, like, if I can echo what Adam is saying, right? Like, Phil, we want nothing but good things for you, right? We don't want negative things to come from this. The whole idea of this was, you know, to allow you an opportunity to kind of talk through things. And Adam is correct. You know, pretty much, what about this? Well, my detractors, or the people who are after me, at what point, you know, you have taken accountability for some things, right? For this is how I was in the
There's one common denominator, Phil.
Street Fighter community. This is how I was then. But I feel like there are other things that have yet to be, you know, you have yet to atone for, whatever the word is, that are just, I just go back to it, man. It just seems like there's just this mountain of evidence, and we're talking fucking JFK level conspiracy theory here. If all this stuff lines up the way it does, and if you were just to say, like, yeah, I'm addicted, yes, I have a problem with spending money on it. Yes, I need to improve. I think people will be like, yeah, cool, let us help you, instead of stop lying, you know. And that's what it feels like right now, man. It just, look, only you know the truth in your heart, right? And the evidence attached to it, right? Which there is a mountain of, right? It's
Craig, you sound like a detective right now trying to get a confession. I'm just saying.
No. And it's not trying to. I'm not trying to. I'm more trying to sound like fucking Dr. Phil.
I know, but there's a fine line between the two, and
I understand
honest, it feels like you're trying to get a confession, and I'm not trying to like make it weird and
and I apologize for that.
You've already been there a couple times. So
I know, but I'm just having a really hard time getting through it, and I apologize if that's what it sounds like. That's not what I'm trying for.
You might not be able to get through it, Craig.
You're right. I may not, and for that I understand why people would be critical.
Okay, come on, let's go here.
Too much lines up.
With the situation I'm in, it's a lose-lose. There is no win. There is no win in this situation. There just isn't. No matter what I do, there's a risk. There's a liability, and just like you said, even if I send you the screenshot, they won't care. They will not care.
Honestly, it depends, right?
Yeah, I don't agree with you. I don't agree at all. There's people out there that would be like, damn, would be genuinely shocked, myself included, because I don't think you're going to send that screenshot, but I truly believe it would be for the better. I think that, you know, I mean, I don't know how many people who hate you know who Craig is, or can even trust Craig, or think that you they'll probably just be like, "Oh, he photoshopped it.
Welcome
he
alive
edited
and
out
well.
Right, exactly right.
his thing.
1 million
you know,
percent. That's
whatever.
it. That's the explanation. I
So
photoshopped it today.
so FaceTime with him. FaceTime him. Pull it up, and Craig will be like, "We FaceTimed." And he opened I saw him open the app. I mean, there's ways around it that Craig would be like, I saw him do it live, right? I mean,
Right.
Okay.
there's ways around
I will. Can I tell you a quick story as to why I am so not convinced that anything I do will help at all? Can I please just tell you a story? Will you bear with me for
This
a
is
couple
it's
minutes?
your show, Phil, man. Yeah, absolutely. Go
It's
crazy.
not my show. It's your
Well,
show. man. Come
our
on,
show,
man.
Craig.
Well, listen, we provided you a platform for you to
Thank
do it,
you.
and listen, you have thousands of people ready to listen to you right now. So
By the
Welcome,
way,
Brian.
you
Welcome
guys have
in.
been great. You've been great interviews. You've been completely fair with me. You've given me, thank you. You guys have been the fairest shake I've ever gotten on the internet right now. Seriously, and you should be commended for being
Oh,
as neutral.
please.
He's
You
trying
lying
to get
sack of
confession on me.
shit.
I don't feel that way. I don't feel pressured.
No,
This
he's
is
trying to
great.
help you. That's really
I
what I'm
know.
saying. But he sounded like it. So
Right. And the thing
Well-
is, he's not going to get a confession because I'm telling you, it's what I'm telling you. is
I know,
true.
but
I'm not gonna confess anything.
it's clearly Craig trying to help.
Okay.
So
Here's the story. Okay. When I was first talking with my now wife, okay, I was so scared that people were going to harass her or do things. We didn't live near each other. We had online communication. After talking for several months, we started dating. Okay. She flew out here on her own dime, by the way. It's another conspiracy that I paid that way. No, that's not true. We started dating. And after a few months, she visited for Christmas.
You
It was
lying
Christmas
sack of
2017.
shit.
I took some pictures while she was here, but I didn't take a picture of her face. I just took a picture of her back, decorating my Christmas tree, saying, here's someone nice who's in my life now. My life has changed because I'd previously been in a relationship that was very public. And sadly, it turned out toxic. We broke up in 2016, or excuse me, early 2017. So this was like something new and positive that I
It turned very toxic. Yeah, who turned it toxic?
What?
wanted to share with everyone, but I was apprehensive about showing her face or anything. So all I showed was her back, decorating my Christmas tree. I talked about what we did when she visited. We made some brownies together. We did this, we did that. Very, very basic stuff. I'm not making this up. It's documented. You can look this up on the internet. I wonder if you guys have come across this. There were people, my haters, made up an entire fabricated story about that was not someone I was dating. That was an escort that I was paying. The money that I was bringing in on streams, I was paying for a European escort and flying this escort across the globe to spend Christmas with me. All right?
Right. Well,
they
but-
had evidence.
what does
but-
that have to do with anything, though?
Well, let's continue, okay? They had
Okay.
evidence of it, documented evidence. Oh, look at this. There's a whole social media account of it, of the escort. Here's the logs of plane tickets. Here's the recipe for the brownies. It's
I love how he's even bringing this up. Like, look at look at Adam. He's like, what the fuck is this shit?
well documented. Everyone said I was guilty. I maintained my innocence for about 3-4 months as she continued to visit me and we had a relationship blossomed and all of that. Eventually, she moves in with me, okay? What ends up happening is, guess what? The whole thing was fake. It was
Right.
all my haters. They had made
And-
the whole situation up.
Well, now hold on, because you're talking about the narrative. The narrative is that your detractors actually cleared you of that and said, like, no, this doesn't add up, right? They're looking for evidence of this thing adding up, and
After the fact.
and they're the ones who apparently put the evidence out that said, like, hey, this is not the case.
That's fair. What happened was for 3-4 months, they're making my life a living hell, just like with this WWE Champions thing. Phil is guilty. You know, look at all this evidence. It's all there. It's outright. And then basically when she moved in with me, well, now what are they going to do? The narrative has to change. Okay. So now they figure it out. It's fake. You're right. They did research. They found out it's these two people in Europe who apparently they do this all the time with other streamers. There was even a possibility they were going to try to extort me for money, try to get them to shut up about it or something. Okay. So to give you some perspective, did anything change positively when that was disproved? No, nothing. They were on to the next thing already. They had already created 2-3 more narratives that they went on to. This is
Look
something
at Adam.
concrete. It's almost exactly parallel to the situation. All this evidence, corroborating evidence, proving that it was real, it was real, it was real. And then all of a sudden, oh yeah, we found out it was fake. Oh well, move on to the next. There was someone who made a video about it, okay? You probably know him. Craig, did you watch the Secret Limited video about the $100,000?
I sure did.
You watched it. Secret Limited is someone who once a year makes a very negative video about me, highlights all my mistakes, puts it into one video. They made a video documenting this. They called it the escort saga, okay? The thumbnail for the video was me, my ex, I don't know why she was in it, and the escort's face, supposedly who it was. This gets disproven 3-4 months later. Did my detractors say, sorry about that, Phil, mea culpa, yo, we made a big mistake, let's forget? No. You want to know what he did? This is the same guy who made the WWE Champions video. He took the face of the escort and put a horse's head on it, and he said, my wife looks like a horse. He never took the video
What?
down. He
It's
never
the fucking
apologized.
internet, though. DS.
I know.
Come on,
but that's what I
man.
mean. When these things get proven wrong,
I love how Adam does not give a fuck.
move on to the next. It's just the next thing. I will send. I will.
So
send
wait,
you a
so what does
screenshot.
this
I
have
will
to
a
do with it,
face-
though?
Because
Yeah.
I will disprove anything, and they will just move on to the next. It will never end. That's what I mean.
So it's the internet. So who fucking cares then?
So then why even bother? Why bother with any? And that's the attitude I take. And now, Adam, you just hit it dead on the head, because this is the attitude I take now. This was not supposed to be an interview, right? I was just supposed to be a guest on your show. It wasn't my intention to ever come out and have it be like this. On my streams, we don't have this. That's why I wanted this to be the end-all, be-all. You want my actual answers on this stuff, you watch this show, and that's the last thing I'm talking about, right? So this is off my streams. I'm making content. I just want to be left alone. They won't leave me alone.
Yeah, the Escort Saga, I'm new to the Galverse. I had no experience with that. I saw like some of the, even after seeing all of the things about it, I still didn't quite understand what the fuck the story was. I just didn't care at that point.
They're the ones who continue the narrative. I'm with Adam. It's the internet. It's going to go on forever. So then why even bother? Why disprove anything? It's on to the next anyway. So once I disprove WWE champions at great personal risk, okay, on to the next. And by the way, now something might happen to me because I exposed myself. So that's why I don't care about it anymore. I've really become, in the 15 years I've been a content creator, I have become so desensitized to this stuff. It's like, what's the next one? I don't care anymore.
If you truly don't care, then you won't bother sending him a screenshot. Because it doesn't matter to you then.
It doesn't matter either way. If anything, if I send Craig the screenshot, it would be out of like respect that he gave me his time today on the show. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, that's something to think about.
That's a lot of trust too, because again, I'm not saying Craig.
Yeah, I heard of. Yeah, okay, yeah, that was at Ramsey. Yeah,
expose me.
Someone like on Facebook or something found the photos, something like that.
Bad has happened to me because I did it.
I haven't. I'll tell you this. I haven't done anything to dissuade your trust or lose your trust. So look, ultimately this is your call, but the offer's there, and I know you said you didn't want to do anything, with your phone during this. Respect that. That's fine. But you realize that by leaving the door open, by even doing this after the stream, there still allows the opportunity. It goes back to the picture didn't happen. Like if somebody sees you pick up your phone right now on stream, you were to then email it to me right now on stream, and it was this was to happen literally right now in real time as people were watching.
It's on his bucket list. It's on his bucket list. But seriously, it's like number 3 on Craig's bucket list for that to happen right now. I'm just saying.
Once again, I think this is all done. It's all done. It's all done. All right, let's continue on, man.
Look at Phil's reaction. Look at Adam's reaction during this. Watch this.
For that to happen right now. I'm just saying.
Once again, I think this is all done. It's all done. It's all done. All right, let's continue on, man.
Bro, Phil, how the fuck did you not know the camera was on? You know what I'm talking about.
I wasn't going to talk about this, but
I did. What the fuck, man? I mean, come
Adam's just like, you know what? Fuck this. Let's kick this door down. I'm pissed.
on.
Sadly, when it happened, I tried to spin it. I tried to spin it in a very positive light, and I rolled with it. It's one of the rare times where I learned in my life you roll with it and it'll go away. It never went away, but at least people, it's just something funny now, right? Imagine if I had reacted to that the same way I reacted to This Is How You Don't Play. That would have been the end for me. Like, if you just got.
Yeah, didn't you go and have Machinima DMCA clips of you jacking off? Or like, didn't he DMCA when it happened? I know that he definitely did not take it. Like a oh well thing. He sure as fuck didn't embrace it when it went down. I wasn't there, but I at least know that part.
Was he gonna say he didn't do it or whatever? Of course, it happened. It's something stupid. But the truthful story.
You lying sack of shit. You lying sack of
Look
shit.
at the two of them.
Before, but never in this context. So in 2016, it was probably the second worst year of my life. Everything was falling apart in my personal life. I moved out here to Washington. I used to live in Connecticut my whole life. I moved to Washington in 2014 with my then girlfriend. Our relationship was great. Over the course of 2 years of systematic harassment on the internet, being swatted, doxxed, all this stuff, her family members being harassed, my family members being harassed, our whole relationship fell apart. Okay? In 2016, I was living with her, and we had 2 separate lives. It was like 2 roommates rather than a romantic relationship. It was messed up. Like,
and I had that again too, but I just don't like to say that.
We were supposed to be together, and we're really not. It got to the point where she went off and had her own life. She had her own friends, her own job. I was doing my thing. Well, no one knew this. Everyone thought everything was fine. We pretended, we smiled, whatever. No one knew that. I was depressed. I was really messed up in the head at that point. The way that I saw it was this room was the only place in the house where she never went. She never came in here. Okay? So this room was like my safe space. I know that sounds stupid, but it was like, this is the one place I can be away from that. And I can have my own safe place. And in particular, I couldn't tell you the specific day when it happened, but I guarantee you it was something awful that happened, an argument, a fight, whatever it was. And I came in here, and back then, I was very different. Today, I'm professional. I have layouts blocking the screen and everything. Back then, I just had, my dashboard.
Like a couch in the corner. That you
exactly.
Go do that now.
Yeah. So I had the camera had been left on from the day before. Back then, I didn't do face cam like I do today. Today, this is a common thing to have the face cam on every single stream. Back then, it was a rarity. I only did it for like FromSoft games where I was going to get really upset. People like to see me rage on camera, right? So that, again, that meant that dark side Phil character. I left it on. And so I come in here and I'm feeling like shit. I feel awful, like probably depressed, awful thing. And I beat one off to relieve myself before a stream. And then
You lying sack of shit.
What?
Like, I can't remember the last time when I got into a bad fight with my wife. And the first thing I thought was, you know what? If I just jerk off, I'll feel better. I'm not really in a mood to jerk off if I'm pissed at the opposite, so a member of the opposite sex.
it's all over the internet.
Just me.
Oh, camera was on, huh?
So it was depression.
Oops. It was part of
Essentially.
it. It was definitely part of it. Like, obviously, you don't sit down in front of why would you even do that? I mean, what an idiot to do that, even in a situation. But it was probably something so horrible. Another argument. There's many of those.
So you said the camera was on, and then you started the stream and then did that, or like you were prepping for a stream, but the camera was on, so it just happened.
Yes. So basically, I
I
turned
have a
on
question. I'm
yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to walk my through. Okay. What was the lead time between starting the stream and completion? Because that's pretty fucking impressive. I'm just kidding.
Not long, man. It was, I would turn on the stream. I call it the pre-stream roll or whatever. You had to
No, I don't-
super aggressive.
I really don't care. I really don't care. I really don't care.
The pre-stream.
The pre-stream roll. The whole routine.
Oh Lord. All right.
So it's a normal thing.
No, it's not. Obviously, no. It was.
You got a name for it, Phil. You got a name for it.
The time that I turn on the stream to let people come into the stream.
Oh, thank
is called
God.
the pre-stream
Oh,
roll.
jeez. Okay.
That's not a
'cause-
routine I do every day. No, no.
Shut up. I mean, it'd be a hell of a pre-show. I'm just saying. Like,
So here's
you
the
could probably,
thing,
hey, you could monetize, as our friends from Geeks and Gamers say, you could monetize the haters. You could
Right.
start a wicked OnlyFans, Phil. I'm just saying, a wicked OnlyFans.
Oh,
And
jeez.
here's the narrative. Here's the truth of the matter. First of all, it took place on YouTube, not on Twitch. All right. There was maybe 20, 30 people there when it happened because I just turned the stream on. Right. And it was right. You have a laptop in front of me or whatever. Camera's on. So embarrassing. But what's the narrative now? Darkside Phil masturbated in front of thousands of people, including small children, on the internet, live on Twitch, and didn't get banned for it. When did that happen?
What?
Well, CNN rehired Tubin after he jerked it in a freaking Zoom meeting. So I
Right.
mean, things can happen, dog. You know.
Thankfully, the camera was not panned down. That would have been very, very bad. Thank God it was, the angle. That it was
What,
at. No one
bro,
wants
if
to
the
see it.
camera was
Oh,
panned
so
down, we would not be
it doesn't
talking
show
to you
anything,
right
'cause
now.
I haven't seen it. And I
Oh
don't
no,
wanna
no!
see
It's actually like from the neck up, and it's kind of just like me tilting my head back and looking
Yeah,
at my
yeah,
asshole.
okay,
That's
so
it.
It's just the
my
sweet
O
relief.
face. It's just my O
hey
face.
man,
That's it.
there's been worse videos of prominent YouTubers with their heels above their heads, and it's been worse.
There has been. Name
But I'm
one.
that's sadly that's the association a lot of people will always have with me. Is that's how I became known on the internet in 2016. You know?
All right.
Man,
I'm
so
not
there's a
ever gonna live
great
that down.
fucking
If anything,
promo going
here's
on
what
in
I learned-
SmackDown
here's what I
right now,
learned
but I
from it.
can't watch it.
That's going
'cause
to
this
always, no
is
matter
not-
what these idiots say about me, that's always going to be my most embarrassing moment.
You know what? Hold on, I'm gonna give you some advice. All right, I want to give you some advice right now. You need
Oh, this should be good.
to own it, and you need to have a box of tissues behind you
And a t-shirt.
as a fucking
Like-
joke, dude. Troll
Yeah.
them back.
Here's
Fuck
the
it.
thing. Here, I
It's too late
I hear what
now.
you're sa- I hear what you're saying. However,
Yeah.
again, you have to understand something. We're joking about it. It's funny to joke about it and own it, but actually, it's representative of a really bad time in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Okay, that
depressing-
makes sense. Yeah, sure,
it's a
sure.
depressing thing. My wife doesn't ever want to talk about it. She knew. I
Hey.
mean, think about this. She met me after, and
Get
she
it?
still likes me. She married me
Yeah.
after that. So obviously, she's moved past. She doesn't want to talk about it. It's like, why am I going to
Phil,
monetize the most
Phil.
embarrassing moment?
Phil,
You know.
beat. Damn it, that would have sounded so bad.
Yes.
I was gonna say beat your demons, but in this context,
Pretty good. Pretty
it's
good.
like shit.
What?
I mean, conquer your demons. You know what I mean? Like that. You're like, I don't want to like go there, but it's like, no, fuck that.
All
Like face it and conquer your demons. I didn't mean to make that pun. That was unintentional, but it was so good.
I
But
bet Kat
but you
at
know
this
what I'm
point
saying,
doesn't
right? I'm
care.
trying to like. You
Yes.
say you don't want to go there, but like
Right. You're not
conquer
the only
it,
person
dude.
who said
Own
that.
it.
You're
Own
definitely
it.
not the
Own that
only
shit.
person. The problem is, again, when you focus on a focal point like that and it becomes your end all be all, I don't want that to be what I'm remembered for. It probably will be, but I want people who come to my content every day to remember that awesome stream they had or that cool game playthrough that we did. I don't want them to think about the guy who had an old face beat off on stream. Like, it's so stupid. And it's such a dumb thing that
Okay,
moved
I mean,
I'm not in that
fair
part of my life
enough.
anymore. I'm so much happier now that I don't need to dwell on the past anymore. I don't need to think about that moment. It was stupid. And I
Well,
don't
say
want
this.
to-
Wait, what was that?
It's stupid, and it's such a dumb thing that I've moved past. I'm not in that part of my life anymore. I'm so much happier now that I don't need to dwell on the past anymore. I don't need to think about that moment. It was stupid, and
Oh.
I
Well,
don't
say
want
this,
to be
it-
there forever.
I swear I thought he said I don't have to masturbate anymore. I didn't realize he really said I don't have to dwell on the past anymore.
If you're not going to monetize it, we will. Later tonight, the Beat Your Demons t-shirt will be available on the store.
Oh my god! That is, no, that's terrible,
I'm
dude.
totally good. I thought it was really funny. All right.
Oh my goodness.
So there's a few things that I want to circle back with you on, Phil. Phil, you still there? You look like you're frozen.
Did we lose him?
I hope not.
Oh, this was like the DDoS. Okay, we can fast forward here.
The business expense, because I feel like Phil kind of skirted that question a little bit. No, we didn't really get so much here.
Oh wait, hold on. Let's see what happens if like
on the
I
5K.
want to see how they
drop,
reacted.
So he'll pop back in. I do want to circle back on the business expense, because I feel like Phil kind of skirted that question a little bit. No, we didn't really get the idea of. I don't know, man. Like I said, if we can have a little one-to-one here, I feel like there's just so much here that doesn't add up.
Man, I
look at that.
I mean, I don't believe him. I mean, I don't. There's too many things. I mean, I caught him live, and then he admitted like a minute later that I was right, and it's just like, man, that your whole credibility was already shaky, and
right.
I don't know. I mean,
no, he had to. No, fucking internet goes down once in a while. It happens. Yeah, that might have been it to a live well, or just yeah, shit internet. Why would someone DDoS him now? Unless it was like, like what was it? That story of that Smash guy who was given that awful like Q&A thing online, and someone ran to his house and disconnected his router. Maybe it was a case of that. One of his whales trying to DDoS him to get it to stop.
I'm not saying this now because he's not here. I mean, you guys have been very blunt to his face. I'm not gonna like, if he hears me, it's not like I mean, I straight up told him I didn't believe him about that joke that he made, and it's just like, dude, that's such bullshit, So,
well, while we have a second, hopefully Phil's going to rejoin us. I did want to thank everybody for your super chats today, and I see a lot of people buying merchandise, and it's genuinely greatly appreciated. Appreciate everybody allowing us to have this conversation. I appreciate Phil allowing us to have this conversation.
Like I said, I didn't
honestly,
watch this
I
live.
gotta
That's
give
why
him
we're
props,
watching
dude,
it now.
because it's not easy to fucking do what he just did, I wasn't being easy on him. And I wasn't going to, because I said earlier, I'm an honest asshole, dude. Like if I don't know you and I'm like, and there's shit and it's a serious situation, like I'll get serious. Like this is the most serious show we've ever had on this channel, right? We're constantly laughing. And like when you said you were going to bring him on, you read his email that he said you could read publicly, and it seemed like he just wanted to be joining and doing a regular show, and it kind of evolved through the weeks of it's going to be an interview.
Yeah, I know.
And now we've done this.
The
interview
thing
today.
was,
I mean, it was tough.
Like I was like working. I had like meetings and shit I had to get done, and I just knew if I tuned into this stream that I would get nothing done, and I had to get shit done. I had to actually adult at the time, but I still kept glancing over the Discord just to see. Even that was distracting me too. I tried to go total radio silence, but I couldn't.
All right, well, I'll say this. Phil just emailed me and he said, hey, I'm still here. I might be getting DDoS. Not sure. So I will say this. Look, we do have, so while we have a second and Phil's not with us, I'm actually going to invite somebody to the chat right now. Keemstar is going to join us.
Oh,
to give his side of the thing. And when Phil hops in,
oh my God.
I know Keem came on.
we'll see. Like I said, I don't want to make this weird for Phil, but I do think that while we have a second, we'll bring Keemstar in. Keemstar has the link, and he should be joining us any minute.
Oh my God, this is.
Did Keem join before
I will
Phil
say this.
got back?
I will say this, guys. I appreciate everybody staying with us. And while we have you for a second, I want to remind you guys we do have some other guests coming up, including Mark the Cyborg and James Rolfe, the Angry Video Gamer. They're coming up here in the next few weeks. If you guys are new, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, of course, and come join us. We are a daily podcast Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock Central Time, and we're usually pretty fun. We have a great time. And if you guys really like it, you guys can head over to patreon.com/sidescrollers and support us over there. But joining us now,
I gotta say, I really didn't mean to make that pun beat your demons. It was just so funny.
Great,
I couldn't stop laughing, and I jeez.
All right. Keemstar is joining us. Hello, Keemstar. How are you? Nice to meet you.
Good. It's nice to meet
What?
you. You guys have absolutely crushed this. I think you've done more than a fair job with Phil here, and especially like how difficult he is. But with him talking about the $50,000 offer and the Lol Call podcast, I just really wanted to get on to say my piece, because he's just dishonest. And I think you guys experienced this, right? He had an opportunity to clear his name so easily, and he just put it off and made excuse, and then goes on to bring up some other situation with hookers and some other lies. And it's like every content creator has been lied about, right? But in this one issue where he could just prove his innocence so quick and he doesn't take advantage of it, then it's like, and
I told him it's just making you more sus. Like that, it's making me trust your story less. That you're not like, you know what? I want to fucking.
I've seen
this
Keen
shit.
drop into
I'm sick of
so
these
many
lies.
streams.
Let's prove it.
It's crazy.
Well, I'll say this. Look, Keem, we appreciate you hopping on. Phil has rejoined us. Phil said he didn't want to be on the show if you were on it. So I'll tell you, can we invite you back on after we're done with Phil?
Sure. Sure. Absolutely.
Okay, I appreciate it. Okay, we're going to bring Phil back on. We don't want to make things weird, so appreciate you understanding, man. And you have the link. I'll DM you when we're ready. Okay, buddy?
Sounds good.
Thank you, Keem. Appreciate it, man. All right. Boof. All right. Phil, welcome back, man. Sorry, we had a second. We wanted to. He had reached out and he wanted to share his side of it. So we appreciate you running with it, man. So let's continue. Everything okay?
I don't know. I have absolutely no idea what just happened. My whole internet went down and came back up, and I don't know if it was my ISP or if I've just been DDoSed. I would not put it past them to DDoS me.
I'm pretty sure if you were DDoS, you wouldn't be fucking talking to him. I mean, what does he have? Does he have a fucking like? I mean, when you get DDoSed, like there's no, it doesn't turn off. You need to like get a new fucking modem. Isn't that how the whole point of DDoSing someone?
At this point, I've never, to my knowledge, my IP address has never leaked this one. But if it happens again, I guess we kind of know, right?
Well, I hope that's not the case.
I hope not either, because that's a lot of work for me. I have to call my cable company then to get it fixed. It's not pretty.
All right. Let's circle back on some stuff here, man.
Yeah, I did see Mundane Matt was it. I couldn't believe Mundane Matt.
Yeah, there's a few things that I feel like we kind of went through, and I feel like we do need to kind of address. And I want to circle back to like the business expenses, because we talked about the 5K, we talked about that, and but we didn't really get an answer, right? Like, and this kind of all ties in together. The idea of like, as somebody who works online, I've been doing this for a long time as well. I understand that spending 5K on anything is a lot, and the idea of a mortgage being a business expense, that's not necessarily true. You can from a tax perspective, you can, well, allow me to tell you, because from a tax perspective, you can take the square footage of your office space in your house, and that can be deductible, right? And you can use that as a business expense. You can take the internet and do those things.
No,
but
the
your entire
Keemstar part
house, your entire mortgage is not something that can be a business expense, right? So
I didn't think that was legal. I don't think that's legal.
Right, it's not. It's not the way it goes. But with all that said, I feel like
Keem is yet to come up
with everything lined up, right? There's still a lot. Like, are you spending that money on food, or what are you spending that money on it? Because you can pay for meals out and things like that, as long as you technically talk about business. I've done that hundreds of times, where you go out to a meal and you say, well, we're gonna have a business meeting, and it's just you and your wife talking about whatever, right? It's just one of those things. But walk me through once again, like what?
Yeah, what happened was, so Phil got disconnected from the call, and then during that time, in between that, Keem came on with them and was talking to them for like a minute, and then DSP, I guess, reconnected, but he said he didn't want to talk to Keemstar, so then Keem said, okay, I'll drop, and so Keem dropped and DSP came back, but they do come on at the same time later.
What are your month-to-month business expenses? What are you paying for as a streamer who works 12 hours a day? Kind of walk me through this.
Well, again, I could tell you what I'm doing now. I mean, we're talking, what people are referencing is something from like 2019, I think, right? Is that a tax return from my
but I want to know about today. Like your expenses that you have on a month-to-month basis. What do those look like? Are your expenses?
You know what? How about this? Give me 1 second.
Sure, do your thing. Yeah. This should be fun. All right, Phil is off, and it looks like, I wonder what this could be a surprise. We'll see what happens.
I'm an old man. Okay?
Yes.
I do something that no one else does. I use paper and I write on it to track things. No one else does this, right?
Now hold on, Phil. Before you show anything, I want to.
I'm not going to show. I'm going to read some things. No, I'm not going to show anything. I'm going to read some things. What I'd like to do is kind of go through here, because people say every day, where does your money go? Essentially that's what you're asking, right? Where does the money go that's coming in? I will 100. You guys are chopping. Tell me.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. Keep going.
Here we go. I'm going to go through this. I'm not exaggerating.
Why is he doing it on the laptop also? Wouldn't it make more sense to do this on your fucking desktop?
For line, this is what I'm paying this month. And this is all my money goes, plus a few other things. Okay. And this is literally all of it.
Great.
I have a subscription to Hulu. It's $10 a month.
Business expense. Okay.
Definitely not a business expense. I'm just saying this is where my money goes. This is everything. I'm serious. I'm going to cover it all.
Okay. Sure.
I have my internet. I have 2 internet lines that I pay for. They're very expensive because they're unlimited internet. It's it's not an hourly. It's like you have to pay a ton of money.
Hourly? Who pays for hourly internet?
No, not hourly. I said unlimited.
Oh, I thought you said that. Okay, you go ahead.
I'm sorry. I meant to say data rates, not hourly. My bad. Data rates. You know how much you use. Okay. I have my dues here where I live. I live in a community, a condo facility community, so it's the dues, monthly dues. I've got. Let's see here.
I mean, Game Pass. But you're reading off personal expenses, and that's no one's business.
Right.
I'm reading off everything. I don't care. I'm reading off everything so you know where my money goes. Because this is what they want. They want to know where all my money goes. I'm gonna tell you right now.
No, I don't think that's the case. I think it was about the $5,000, the business expenses, that they were like, what is going on with this? Like, how is this the case? So you're now giving them more shit when you were very seemingly very nervous about
Feels like,
giving
uh-oh.
anyone any more information that isn't
What?
public. You know what I mean? I'm just
Take
trying
a
to,
sip.
before you continue,
Take a
it
sip.
just seems like this is counterintuitive for where you have said your stance is on like revealing public information. So like,
Well, I'm not going to tell you any account name. I'm not going to tell
yeah,
you
no, I
businesses or
understand.
anything.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I'm
get
saying?
that, but still, it's still personal stuff. That's like, all right, well, I don't understand what. That's not what the subject was about. It
Right.
was about the business expenses.
Right.
These aren't business expenses that you're reading off. It's personal stuff.
Yeah, I don't.
Some
Yeah,
of
why
this- well,
does
some
he
of this
need
would be
2
considered
lines?
business,
Like,
some wouldn't. You know, like I was
like even today, who the fuck is 2 internet lines? Is it supposed to be for fucking like to separate them, like the business one versus the like? You don't do that. You don't even need that either. Like if you have a work from home business, you're supposed to have like if you're a business, yeah, if you're a home business and you get internet, you're not supposed to get residential. You're supposed to go. You're supposed to quote get business internet because you are a business, so you should be paying the business rate. But most people don't do that. But now he's doing that. But like honestly, the residential one probably just be fine.
going to say Game Pass. That's
But what's
you know,
The only real benefit to business is that you get much more prompt technical and customer support and equipment replacement. Which okay, I guess you can be more justified.
Point is kind of where I'm leaning. Like, what is the reason for giving us your personal expenses?
because people want to know where my money goes. You're asking me
Your business, the business
okay,
expense
you're
money. That's what
specifically
they're
asking me-
talking about.
you're
That's what
specifically-
I've seen on the internet. That's what I've seen that people are upset. There's the business expenses, the 5,000, and then like I don't know where this like $500,000 thing is or what that even is. But there's some question.
$500,000.
Yeah, I don't know.
Holy shit.
I heard. I've seen. I didn't look into that much because I have multiple shows that I do, and I couldn't dedicate too much to learning about you. So I figured I'd come and just hear from you.
One
but,
for
like,
uploading.
that's from what I've seen. It's the business expenses that's what people want to know about. Like how are you spending that much money on the business?
Here's the thing. If
But
you were
again,
to
like I
nickel and
just
dime
said
every
though,
single transaction I
and
do-
fucking they probably yelled at them and said, "Wait a minute, you have a fucking business here? Yeah, you should have been paying this from day one, you asshole."
when it comes to like video games and stuff like that, I don't think it's close to that. I think I don't know how it was divvied out in those, in that report or whatever they used for the bankruptcy. I don't know how it's calculated. I'm not my bankruptcy attorney. I'm not my CPA. I know it's done right because I went through it with the bankruptcy judge line by line. So
is
I know
that
it's
where
correct.
that large number comes from? Is the bankruptcy number like how much debt you had?
Oh,
I'm
maybe,
trying to
maybe.
take a. Oh, I felt. I mean, you know, right? I mean, if that's what
I
you're-
don't know the total number of debt.
Seems like a
that's
pretty
right, no.
big moment in your life that you would know.
Yeah.
I never, it's not a milestone. Oh man, I'm so happy I got $500,000 off my back.
Yeah, this is someone who, like, my dad has had financial trouble. Like, I think he actually had to do not bankruptcy, but stuff close to it. Like, he would know exactly all the numbers, everything involved, because he was, his own business guy. Like, he was a self proprietor. Actually, no, he was a what is that? Corp S or Corp C, whatever the fuck it's called. So yeah, with that kind of stuff, you remember all that data. You remember all the numbers.
I'm not saying it's a good milestone.
No,
but
it's a horrible milestone. Something I want to move past and forget and get, put in the past. But I don't know. Maybe that's what that number is. But again, I don't know. I can't go line item by line item. I don't know. It's from years and years ago. And guys, you still there?
Yeah.
Okay,
You're
you
good.
froze again.
You're good.
Jesus.
You're good.
Keep
You're good.
freezing.
You're good.
Okay.
Well, they call me Mr.
that's
Freeze, so
Okay. But yeah, like I can't.
Great fucking internet too, by the way.
I don't have that. I don't know. I would assume, this is my assuming, that data includes anything that's considered associated with the business or not. I don't know. Again, I can, without going through, because I'm not going to go through all of it anyway. That would be exposure to talk about all that stuff, I feel. Okay. A couple things that no one knows. I guess I have to. I don't want to do this.
But what are you talking about? Nobody is. What does it mean I have to do this? He just brought this up. Did you see? Hold on.
Without going through, because I'm not going to go through all of it anyway. That would be exposure to talk about all that stuff, I feel. Okay. A couple things that no one knows. I guess I have to. I don't want to do this. I really don't want to do this, but
Who asked him first? Did they say, "Okay, Phil, tell us something that nobody knows"? Where is this coming from? Like, okay, I'll admit I had a mint. I'll just call it. I had an edible mint earlier. Am I mishearing things? Was it that good? Am I missing something here?
again,
Phil, you do what you're comfortable with, man. I think that's the biggest thing. Is
I really
you
don't want to.
like,
Let me go put the paper away. I'm going to tell you. Okay, hold on.
Look at Adam.
Okay.
All right. I don't want to talk about shit, but I have to. It sucks.
Well,
No, you
That's
don't.
bullshit,
You said like 30 minutes ago you don't give a shit, and it doesn't make a difference. So pick a point, pick a place to stand.
Yeah, I know. I don't.
Either you don't give a shit and you're gonna move on and let the haters hate you no matter what because there's nothing you could do, or try to appease them. It's not. You can't be somewhere in the middle where you're like, I might appease you. I might actually do this. I'll think about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
Adam, I don't care
one
about
or the
them.
other.
I care about you guys. I
So
care
you're
about my
sit-
viewers. I care about
Right.
these neutral parties out there who've heard so much nasty stuff about me. At least have a place to listen and hear my side. You know, that's what this is. And I appreciate you guys so much for giving me this time. I really do. I'm sorry I'm getting emotional now. Thinking, you know, but
Oh, this is what they must have been talking about. I kept saying like, oh, I kept seeing in the chats like, oh, is he crying?
you know, all right, I'm just gonna fuck this. I'm gonna do it. All right, I'm gonna tell you a few things that no one knows without specifics. Okay, so it doesn't really put anyone under the bus or anything. I've been involved in a few different, legal things over the
I would just be like, okay, Phil, let's just establish though, nobody's asking you to do this.
years. I've been involved with medical issues, my own health and my wife's. All right, and it's not stuff I should talk about with my audience. I don't want my audience to come to my stream and be like, I want to give you a tip because I found out that you have maybe a medical issue or something going on. That's no one's business. I don't,
But we all know you have gout. I don't really tell you guys about like my medical issues.
I said to let me explain. I said to my audience, if you're going to come to a DSP gaming or a DSP react stream, please come support me because you like me and my content. Okay? Don't come support me because you want to stick it to the haters. I don't want that pity party. Keep that, let them celebrate whatever. Come and just support me for my content. If I tell you stuff that's going on that are expenses, medical expenses, legal expenses, and it's, again, I'm not going to tell you, I have some medical conditions. Okay.
Well, then this is your forum.
Yeah.
Like this is your forum, Phil, right? If there's some sort of like medical condition that is causing you to live,
Is there a medical condition that causes you to be a complete asshole? Please tell us, Phil.
paycheck to paycheck or
Yeah,
stream
it's
to
called
stream,
narcissism.
You pride yourself on transparency.
Borderline personality
I can't think
disorder.
of anything more transparent than just telling your audience you have something going on. And like, you know what, people are people and they'll understand that. Like if God willing I came out and I had cancer or something bad happened, I would.
It's not that. It's definitely not that. Okay, I don't want to make anyone think that I'm trying to. Again, this is not a pity party here.
Right.
It's not that. I have a few chronic lingering things that come back over the years, and then yes, there's a medical cost. There's deductible, of course. You have to pay to a certain amount. In a nutshell, I've been involved with a few legal things, and I've been involved with some medical things. Okay, and essentially what's happened over the years is I can't really pay them because of the financial situations that I've been in. Okay. And
did you pay any of those? Did you pay any of those things as business expenses?
I believe, and I don't know if this is true or not. Isn't it true that certain, like your health insurance premiums and stuff, is covered or is a tax deductible? I don't know. Again, I get asked this by my tax guy.
Look at this guy. It's like, how the fuck do you not know? Like, how do you not know that?
I do. He says,
Your tax guy was asking you this?
He said, I just got an email the other day that said, we need your breakdown of what you pay for premiums, if you had any medical expenses, if you had any of this, we need all this to file your taxes properly.
Yeah, exactly. It's so that you can get some thing in case you have medical expenses. Like even when I was getting my stuff together, they said like, "Where's your medical stuff?" I'm like, "Well, I didn't have any because like I just don't have any." And they're like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, because I was covered by the state." And they were like, "Okay."
That doesn't sound right, dude.
I don't know. Again, no. Listen, please. Here's the problem. I don't want people going over my tax guy. You know what I mean? He knows what he's doing. He's a professional.
But he clearly doesn't because you've been in tax issues.
Sound like it.
No. My tax issues are not or from before this shit. I used to have tax issues with an old account. You might be getting the stories mixed. I used to have an old guy who fucked everything up. This person I have now has fixed everything. Okay. I'm not throwing anyone under the bus. This guy is great, and I want people to understand that. Okay. But basically, I have a few ongoing things. When you don't have credit anymore, okay, but you still owe. Some things can get erased. Some things can't. All right, by a bankruptcy or whatever. And I'm in a situation where I have ongoing costs that I'm on payment plans for. Okay. Not, a credit card. I can't get a credit card. I have no credit. My credit sucks because I have bankruptcy. No,
you lying sack of shit.
Plans. So, for example, I incur a legal cost of several $1,000s. Okay, Phil, you don't have to pay that today. You can pay it slowly over time. Here's your payment plan. Right? With the IRS, I owe them back taxes. Phil, we understand. As long as you're in repayment status, you're paying this amount every month. This is, you know what I mean? So that's where my money goes. I'm embroiled in all these ongoing things behind the scenes that absolutely no one needs to know about. Medical stuff, legal stuff that I'm going through, and tax stuff.
But yet we all know about this. Why is that, Phil?
Where does your money go? And then just think about this. I'm streaming 6 days a week full time. I'm stressed some days, And then I got to come on my stream and hear you blew all your money on mobile games. My wife and me are feeling so much stress with this going on. And,
You're feeling stressed because everyone is saying shit that's true.
What?
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
We didn't go on a honeymoon when we got married. We haven't been on a trip since 2019. We haven't done anything.
Phil, I get it. We understand, which is why, we talked about therapy. We've talked about all these things. We
right.
understand, right? We've talked about all these things. But you still haven't answered the question. I'm going to ask you this really directly, okay?
Oh, God.
On a month-to-month basis, how much money are you spending on WWE mobile games and or any other mobile games on a month-to-month basis? Are you spending on iTunes or any sort of mobile device?
Okay.
Just a straight dollar amount. Whatever it is, it's okay.
Okay. Do you want? Okay. This month,
This month.
I have spent probably $10 to $15.
You lying sack of shit!
That is an honest answer. And by the way, it
You
wasn't a
lying
WWE
sack
game.
of shit!
Okay. What was it on? Just curious.
Well, here we go. Because if I tell you, they're just going to blow it up. They're going to.
No, okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. If
They
you
already
say
said it's a new game. It's a Street Fighter game.
okay. The new Street Fighter one. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I heard that, like, that might be the shits
It's
or
all right.
something.
It's one of those, you build a team of fighters, they fight against each other. It's not, you don't even have to play. You just
It's
build
like
a team.
tap RPG. Crap.
Similar, yes.
Okay,
And
I have-
that was just for experimental purposes. I'm not playing it a lot. I'm playing every once in a while. I'll spend $1 and get a bunch of stuff, so I spend a couple dollars here or there. And of course, I will get destroyed for saying that I spent $15 on it, I will. I'm going to get destroyed for it.
So
You
let
lying
me
sack of
kind of
shit!
move this along. We're going for a long time. Thank you
I
again, Phil,
love
for your
that.
time. Appreciate it. We're approaching 4 hours. I got a few things that I want to make sure we hit on before we go.
Sure.
Before we can move forward. So number one, Keem is here, and Keem has said that he will be respectful, and he would love to talk. I think this is a tremendous opportunity to bury whatever hatchet or whatever it is you guys have and mend a fence. I think this is a tremendous opportunity. Are you open to that?
If you want him on the show to talk, I'm not doing business with this man under any circumstances.
Yeah, you established that. That's fine. That's not what he's saying.
Yeah, I'm not trying to broker a business deal or anything like that. But are you open to talking with him now?
I'm curious what he wants to talk about. I'm not being on his stuff. I refuse. So
Well, I'm going to bring him on. Right?
Wait. So you're okay with him coming on to talk?
as long as he's not going to sit here and insult me or to, you guys have already asked me so many questions. I don't want him interrogating me too. It's your show, not his.
That's not.
Right.
I mean, Keem, he's watching obviously, so it's like that's not the case. We're the interviewers. He just said he agrees.
Yeah, he agrees. So look, we're gonna bring him on, and
I would be like, Phil, you realize we could just kick him off if he starts misbehaving? Like, you're in no danger here. Keemstar can't touch you and hurt you.
And like I said, I think this is not a tremendous opportunity for friction. This is an opportunity to build a bridge. So let's do this real quick. Keemstar, welcome back to the show. How are you?
Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate it. And Phil, thank you for letting me on to talk to you directly. I do mean what I said here in the chat, that I will be respectful. I'm not here to interrogate you, but I desperately want to represent my point of view in this situation between me and you. Because what I've heard listening to this podcast or this interview or whatever you want to call it is you describing problems that you have in your life, paying bills, being harassed by, your detractors or whatever. And I actively went out of my way to solve major problems in your life. And me and you are not friends. In fact, before I put together this business opportunity for you, me and you were fighting back and forth. It started with you on your podcast out of nowhere, reacting to me retiring when I turned 40. And you said, well, that guy's evil and, all these horrible stuff and blood money, whatever you said about me, because you don't like my show Drama Alert. And many of your detractors picked up on right away that the reason why you don't like my show and you don't support me is because we covered the fapping situation in 2016.
That's completely untrue. Dude, you covered it fairly.
Go ahead, respond, Phil.
You covered it fairly. You didn't even really harp on it. One of your guys contacted me behind the scenes, said, do you have anything else to add? You want to be on the show? I was like, no, you covered it fairly. I don't think you were unfair at all. That's not the case.
Thank you, because I don't think I was unfair either.
No, not at all. Who told you that? That's bullshit. That's the detractors.
You lying sack of shit.
I didn't
everybody
of
jumped to that conclusion why you had such a hateful response to me retiring was because of that. Because we have no previous history, Phil.
Correct.
I've never talked to you. The only interactions I've ever had with you is just covering this one story about you.
Mm-hmm.
And just, this is a great example of why I wanted to bring you on, because there's clearly a miscommunication somewhere along the lines, right? Clearly. So, Phil thought Keemstar did this, Keemstar thought Phil did this. All right. So we're in a better place, which is great.
So to move on from that, I see a clip and it's on Phil's stream. He's reacting to my retirement and he's saying I'm this horrible, evil person, and he doesn't support me. And I responded.
Hold on, Keem, is that true, Phil?
I don't know. I'm sure I criticized him. I don't know specifically what he's talking about yet.
Okay, continue.
I don't,
You
I don't know
lying sack
exactly
of
what was
shit.
said. I'm
You
going off
lying
the memory,
sack
but it
of
was something
shit.
along those lines. The clip gets sent to me by multiple people. So I respond to Phil because the only thing I know about Phil is him being a lolcow, right? Him on stream begging for money to pay rent and stuff like that. That's all I know about him. So
Take a sip.
I responded to him on Twitter, which I thought was pretty clever in gaming terms. And I explained to him that like we are roughly the same age. We've been doing YouTube for like 15 years each. We started at the same time. And I'm retiring now and I don't ever have to work again. So I have completed this video game of YouTube. And I said to Phil, you're still on level 1. All right. You're still on level 1 and you're restarting, level 1 over and over again, like a video game, and you're getting nowhere. You're still at the point where you're begging people on stream to pay your bills and whatnot. And I thought that was a good response, right? Even though I am talking trash and, we got a little drama going on for Twitter and whatnot, I thought that I was actually giving you good advice. And,
yeah, I was going to say that
is that advice or is that more like, because in
that
text
felt like
form,
a backhanded smack
Right.
with, internet Twitter battles,
100%, 100%, but it's also advice, right? My point in those Twitter videos was that Phil needs to do something different. Imagine you're playing a video game, you're on level 1 and you try the same technique over and over again. All right. And you're dying and you have to restart the level over. Like you're never going to beat level 1. And that's the situation that Phil has been in.
right. And Phil, what are your thoughts on that? Do you feel like there's any truth to that, or do you feel like that Keemstar is out of his way to kind of make you look a fool?
Well, first of all, the best way to give life advice is to, say it in an insulting way, for sure. I mean, makes everyone very receptive to it, correct?
Right.
Sure
Well,
to do a
fair
nice
point, but
slap it.
Let him finish, game
on Twitter. Is there some truth to it? Yes. Okay. But here's the thing: if you have criticism of me, then criticize me fairly in a way where maybe I have a chance to have a conversation. Instead, you just go to your platform and you say something nasty about me on there. I'm a tiny little guy. Okay. When I say something on my stream, who hears it? A couple hundred people? Yes, my detractors then echo it. They extrapolate it all over the internet. Boom, it's amplified, correct? But I'm the little guy. You are a big guy, Keem. You're huge. You have a giant reach on the internet. Do you not understand that the stuff that you say and do has repercussions for everyone around you? You seem to be someone that you're not self-aware. You don't understand that when you say something like that. Now I have to live with that shit for months on end. You're on level 1. Phil, level 1. You've been for 15 years. You're just on level 1. Do you think I need that? I already have enough shit in my life going on. So much stuff. I don't need Mr. Big Time punching down on me, which is what you do.
Punching down.
You lying sack of shit.
I didn't see it that way. I saw a clip of you talking all kinds of shit on me, like unprovoked, and I just responded, talking shit back, but also giving you advice. That's the way I saw it. Anyhow, after that incident took place, months went by, and this bothered me because I saw the solution the entire time, that Phil needed to do something different. All right. I am a person that recognizes entertainment. I really, really get it. You got to understand, Phil, you have haters, you have detractors. So do I, but I have more. I have more than Wings of Redemption, DSP, and Boogie combined. I have way more haters, but I'm still successful. And I still have new business opportunities and I'm still making money. I was supposed to retire a year ago and I'm still doing new stuff and being successful in this platform because I understand this business very, very well. And even though you have that hate, they are viewers. They are your customers. The detractors are your customers. The haters are your customers. And they're more loyal than the people that give you money, that donate on your stream. The people that hate you are way
that
more
you're talking
loyal.
about. That's like, you can't pay for that shit.
I mean,
Wow.
look at how many
Whoa.
What?
Boy, Keem spouting facts right there.
people are here. 2,500 people are here. It's just, it's you have a legitimate fan base. Those haters, those people that don't like you.
And that's just people who were on there. That's not even counting all the people who are watching. I mean, Christ, how many restreams went on yesterday? I mean, what? At least 5 I can think of.
Are your fans. And I wanted
Probably
to
more than
solve
that,
this
more like
issue
8.
for not just you, but Wings and Boogie. I looked at all of you guys, you're lolcows, right? You have more haters than like supporters, right? But really, they're all fans. They are all fans. They're all obsessed with you and watching your content nonstop. The solution really is to get the 3 of you to do a podcast, all right? Those haters are going to watch. They're going to absolutely
His
love.
brain looks like it's like the little bit that isn't rotted out from gin and mental gymnastics and everything else from all the years is trying to like get the part that's still taking over, saying like, no, he's making total sense. Yes, we need to do this podcast. but the narcissist asshole part that's taken over is like, no, we're right, fuck everyone.
That these three guys have come together to make content. Now, between the three of you, you guys don't have the business sense to like really figure this out and make this thing actually happen. But I do. All right. And you guys don't even understand how valuable you are as individuals, as entertainers, because you look at the numbers and you're looking at everything and like, oh, well, I've fallen off. And, you know, that's the mindset that you have. Right. But I have a different mindset for each and one of you, that you guys are amazing entertainers, but just not in the way that you want to be. Right. You're lolcows, but there's so much value there. By putting the three of you together, and, you know, each one of you would own 25% of this podcast. All right. We never got to have this conversation. So I do want to have it now, even though I know you're not going to do it. All right. I would also own 25%. I would do the business aspect of it. I've had many success selling podcasts to exclusive deals with Spotify and other companies, multi-million-dollar deals. All right. I wanted to put the three of you together for this show. I would do the business side of the things. And I knew that all three of you would be in a situation where you didn't really trust me, or you're like, oh, I don't know if this is going to work. And you'd have a lot of doubts. So I was just going to take my own money and take $150,000, give you each, just to start off before we even filmed an episode, 50 grand up front to let you know that I was serious. And I believe in this concept and this idea. Now, I call Boogie first. I instantly get on the phone with Boogie. All right. He loves the idea. He understands it. He gets it. He reaches out to Wings. Wings is down. And now it's time to talk to DSP. Boogie, the way I understand it, called you, contacted you, and told you what was going on, right?
He DM'd me on Twitter, and we had a brief conversation back and forth in DMs.
And he told you that I wanted to do a podcast with the three of you, right?
Yes, I had no idea that's what you were trying to contact me about, because we never talked. But he said that there was this idea for a podcast, correct?
So you did know.
So Boogie told you or didn't tell you?
Boogie told me that he and Wings had spoken to Keem, and that Keem wanted to do a podcast with all three of us. No money or anything was discussed. He just said, you know, he wants to do a podcast with all three of us. I didn't know that's what Keem was trying to reach out to me. I said maybe that's what it was. I didn't know because I never spoke with him.
Phil, hearing this and hearing the business opportunity that was laid, I don't even know if it's still there or not, but what are your thoughts right now, given what Keem has said to you?
Thoughts? Like,
Yeah,
you mean?
yeah, just as he's laid this out, like lay out your feelings based on what Keemstar has laid out for you.
I have absolutely no problem doing anything with Boogie or Wings. In fact, you know, I had the conversation with a little bit more later.
You lying sack of shit! You lying sack of shit!
Me or me being on his show or whatever, you know, whatever it may be. These guys, you know, I did a react about Wings last year about his documentary. You know, that me doing a collab with them, just doing a fun podcast, is not out of the question for the future.
But your issue is with Keemstar and his business principles.
Correct.
Okay, so understand. So even if there's an opportunity for you to remove yourself from quote unquote level one and potentially have an opportunity further down the line to potentially sell the podcast to something and put 50 grand in your pocket initially, that's a 100% no-go for you.
Oh man. See, I didn't know you put me on the spot. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what we do. That's an interview.
This is a discussion that cannot be just made by me. It has to be made by my wife. You know, we have to talk about it because this was the discussion we had. That, you know, sorry, Keem. Can I criticize you fairly if I'm reasonable and don't, you know, not under the belt? Can I be honest about you?
Sure. You can say whatever you want about me.
Sure.
But I just want to represent how I feel about the situation. I'm not done, but go ahead.
Okay. So, Keem, you are someone who, when you look at your history on the internet, it's very interesting. And I'm impressed with what you've done. You know what I'm saying? Like, I watched a documentary about you last year. You started off trolling people in Halo. I mean, holy shit. And you turned that into an empire of money on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. That's so admirable. And if anything, one of the things you absolutely need to be praised for.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not a Keemstar fan, but I also don't know all the lore because I don't care. I know he's polarizing for doing good shit and bad shit, but it's like, you gotta respect the guy. Like, it's obvious Phil does not really respect Keemstar, but I mean, like, come on.
Your determination. You were shut down time after time. False copyright strikes, real takedown requests, all kinds of shit. People wanted you off the net, right? You're still there. You never gave up. Damn, that's a success story.
Phil, it sounds familiar, dude.
Yeah.
I guess.
It literally sounds like you.
It's true. We just heard your story, and
did you have a different name?
It is Craig's absolutely
DSP,
right.
Okay.
Historical
now,
Society.
All right. When you look at what Keem has done and what I have done, I'll probably be forgotten. I'll just be a fart in the wind, right? I got 100,000 videos on the internet. No one's gonna remember Dark Side Phil besides the guy who jerked off on stream. And you know, probably this WWE Champions thing will go away eventually, just like everything else. Who cares? But Keem, you know, has a big body of work. He's known. But when you look at how Keem made his money, okay. Again, I'm going off documentaries and things I've seen. I mean, Keem, you have to openly admit that there were a lot of things that you've done that you probably have no issue with whatsoever. You always feel from your perspective, because there's always two perspectives on everything, right?
Holy shit, Phil. I got to say, this is fucking rich coming from you right now, though. You're getting your information from the detractors that Keem has, and that's where you're basing this on. When this whole episode, you have been talking about how much shit your detractors have made other people think about you. Like, do you hear yourself right now?
Indeed, I do. That's the nature of the beast. That's how YouTube works, man. That's how all this works, right?
Fuck, man.
You're right. So, from what I've heard and seen about Keem, you know, I call them a misery broker. All right, Keem, on a day when you have a good day, it's because someone else is having a bad day. Someone else has drama going on. Someone else has horrible things happening in their life. It's your good day, man. It's time for you to blow that up, and then you interject like a shoe wedge. Get into that life. Get into that drama, right? You gotta be a part of it. And now get them on your show so that you can pull this out to be not just a one-time thing, but now it's going to be pulled on for weeks and weeks. If there's something,
Phil, do you know the internet at all? Do you know the internet at all?
Yes, I do.
Do you see who's successful on the internet? I mean.
Yes.
Yeah, I would probably be more successful if I talk shit on people, but like I don't, and you know, I do what I can because that's just where I'm at, you know. So it's like you can't be upset when people use the algorithms for their advantage, which Keem seems to have figured out.
You're right, and at one point I was a really stupid, jealous guy. Man, I feel like I'm putting out content that's not harmful to anyone. I'm just doing gameplay. I'm dicking around on the internet here with my viewers, and this guy gets over and he's doing this drama content. People are saying it's hurtful. You know, you're right. At the same time, everyone has what's called a moral compass, correct? And you know, I've been talking about this on my streams recently. I was raised a Roman Catholic. All right, I'm not religious anymore, by the way. So this is not like an excuse, but I grew up with certain morals, all right, and values. And to me, if the only way that I can get over on the internet and get just get over in life is by stepping on other people, I'm not going to step on those people. I would rather
you lying sack of shit.
I don't think that's what Keem's doing when he's making videos. You know, I see, yeah. D-Day Cobra, shout out to him. I saw him in chat earlier, you know, and tweeted us out. Thank you, buddy. He talks shit on anyone. Like he freaking, you know, he monetizes the haters better than anyone I know. Right. Well, I've talked to him personally off air, and he's a fucking great guy. And like,
who's D-Day Cobra? Because like I heard references to Cobra in like the stream that these guys did today, but you know, the fucking podcast. And I thought Cobra JFS, but then when I seen reference, like, no, they couldn't be talking about him. Like, does anyone know who this other Cobra is?
It has a good moral compass to me. I don't think talking shit about people on the internet somehow changes who you are, right? As your moral compass. I mean, you said moral compass, and it's like, come on, dude. Like,
can I ask Phil a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Absolutely.
Phil, listen. All right, if me running Drama Alert is like taking advantage of people's misery, right? Because the way I understand it, for how you're explaining it, is like, a YouTuber will get canceled, and then I cover the story on my platform, or you know, you had the fappening, right? And I covered the story on my platform that I'm making money off of other people's downfalls, right? That's the way you see it.
Yes.
Well, there's people on YouTube that run documentaries on important things that happen on the internet. They're also in the same situation, correct?
What do you mean by that?
They're making money. They're making money on a newsworthy story on the internet.
Like factual reporting of things that are happening, like a news network. Like, what do you mean?
Of course. And then I inject my opinion on these stories as well. But there are YouTubers, right? They're commentators, and then there's commentators that do like documentary style stuff that cover drama on the internet. You're saying that every single one of them is accepting blood money because they're voicing their opinions on what's going on.
Well, simply voicing your opinion is one thing, Keem, but let's take a look at your history here. There's been documented cases where you've actually staged stuff and extrapolated drama in situations where it didn't really exist. There's evidence of this.
Explain that. Explain that.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, name one.
More. I'm not aware of these.
The documentary I watched last year about June the King made this one. And I guess there was a situation with a YouTuber, and I forget if he was a Minecraft YouTuber or another YouTuber. And, you know, originally he appeared supposedly as an upfront, honest guest on Keemstar's show covering this drama. I think it was allegations that he had been with underage girls or something like that. Okay. Come to find out later on, the whole, or at least part of it, was orchestrated between the two behind the scenes. Like, I guess he wanted to get back at someone, his ex or his current girlfriend, and Keem participated in that.
Look at Keem. He's like, okay, this farce needs to stop now.
That setup situation.
I have no idea what you're talking about. That doesn't even sound legit whatsoever. I have no idea what you're
You have
talking
the right
about.
to deny it. That's fine.
But-
You know what? It's out there. Just so you know, that
Well,
shit's out there, man.
But I
What's
just
good,
want to say, like, you participated in supporting a YouTuber, all right, that covered a story on my misery, right? If I supposedly did something wrong, you watched and supported another YouTuber doing exactly what Dromler does.
It's a good point.
Well,
Like-
and-
Ho, 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 ho. God, look how awful Phil looks in this. Literally every time I pause, I don't even do it intentionally. I mean, I pause intentionally, but like I don't try to get the worst possible poses for Phil, but they always look so awful.
And on top of that, and just to kind of reiterate this, like once again, Phil, you're telling Keemstar that he has the right to deny that because he's saying it didn't happen, even though you're saying there's a mountain of proof in this documentary, right? The same thing is being said to you right now about your WWE legends and everything like that, and you have the right to deny it too, even though there's a mountain of evidence through documentaries online.
Correct. But the difference, Keem, to respond to your point, sorry, there's a lot of points that just came up. The documentary is not just negative stuff about you. Okay, you understand? The documentary is actually covering your entire history. I've learned a lot of things about you that I find very admirable and very positive by watching that. It really did cover factually your rise.
Name
and all the
one.
stuff that's happened and some of the
How
big
do you know that, though,
controversies you've been
factually?
involved in.
How do you know it's factual? I'm just curious. It's on the internet, so it must be true.
I know, Phil, real quick. I mean, I see documentaries on DSP, but you on the show said half of the stuff's not even true. So
Right.
I'm confused. Is the internet 100% trustworthy or not? Because when it's about me, it's all facts. When
Right.
it's about you, it's all lies. I'm confused.
It's not all fact and it's not all lies. It's always somewhere in between, right? We all know that. We're not stupid. We're not born yesterday. When you watch that documentary, you got to kind of suspend your disbelief. Say, hey, okay, believe it or don't, right? Make your own judgments based
So
on
you
what
chose to
believe
believe this
is.
one when it came to Akeem.
In a couple particular cases. I'm not saying that one documentary is
Whoa, Keem's vaping and smoking a cigarette. God damn. Listen, Paul, I know you're in good shape, but you keep doing that, you're not going to have much of a retirement to enjoy.
the only thing I've ever heard about Keem. There's been lots of people who've
That's
been
what you're
involved with Keem
referencing
over the
a
years.
lot so far. So that's what I'm going on.
Can we come to the conclusion that me and you both have a bad reputation? We're controversial figures, but one of us is wildly more successful?
Oh, I wouldn't even say I'm successful at all. So
Okay.
like, yeah, sure.
Keemstar, continue with what you were saying. Okay, I think we've established this. Keemstar, continue with what you were talking about leading up to this. You reached out to Boogie Wings and DSP, 50 grand on the table to start the podcast. Continue.
So knowing how to help all three of them, all right, and then also creating a business opportunity for myself, right? You know, it is all these things combined. And not only just helping DSP, Wings, and Boogie and myself, because this is a brilliant idea, but it's also helping every single person that's in this chat right now. It's also helping every single one of your haters, every single one of your guys' actual supporters. Everybody wants this content. This is a win. This is a golden opportunity. So knowing this and wanting to reach out to help you, I found you to be so incredibly difficult to work with. Boogie already contacted you and told you that this was about a podcast. I publicly tweeted, reach out to me, $50,000, and you ignored me. Then we finally start talking in DMs, and your response is, well, email me, because I want to set up a call. We're already talking in DMs on Twitter. Why can't we just jump on a call and talk right away? We're already communicating. You tell me to go email you. That is so weird from my perspective. If I reach out to the biggest YouTuber on the platform, Mr. Beast, and I text him, hey, we got to get on the phone. I got to talk to you about something. I'm going to talk to him within 12 hours. And this is a wildly more busy guy than you, Phil. All right. And that's the biggest YouTuber on the platform. This is how content creators communicate with each other. We don't, email each other. Like, we have managers to do that stuff. We have lawyers to do that stuff. I have a team of people that will get in an
Jesus Christ.
email. I don't get in an email ever. I'm never in a Gmail ever. You know, this is, what are you talking about? It was so disrespectful to me when I'm just communicating you in Twitter DMs. We're talking back and forth and you're telling me I have to email you in order to get on a call. I was so confused by that, but I play along. All right. I think one of my people may have emailed you or something. I got a phone number. We set up a scheduled time when we're going to call and we're going to talk about this. And I call you during the scheduled time and you don't answer the phone. And then I get a message back saying, oh, I'm sorry. You know, I was streaming. I told you I work at this time. Well, even if that is true and you were streaming, that stream is not more important than my phone call and my opportunity. It's not.
Phil, what do you think about that? Do you think that's accurate? You have an opportunity to put five figures in your pocket and you Kind of give us your mindset there, because
It's all semantics, because who cares how you're talking or whatever. First of all, Craig knows how to contact me. He contacted me to be on this show. It was pretty straightforward. Wouldn't you say, Craig? It was pretty easy to reach out to me. It wasn't hard to reach me, was it?
No, I emailed you. Yeah, it was easy.
And when we were able to talk back and forth pretty reasonably with no issue, correct? I don't think we ever had an issue, right?
No, I think what we're hearing
Well,
here is,
hold on. You think Craig is a big YouTuber though? Come on, look at this guy.
Oh, no, I'm not even saying
once upon a time, buddy. Once upon a time.
This has nothing to do with size. This has to do with just being reasonable. If someone has a business contact line, said, this is the best way to contact me, please do it. But instead, you go to your giant audience on Twitter and you just scream, I want DSP to contact me immediately, $50,000 on the line. It's hostile, it's disrespectful, it's unprofessional.
So you got triggered and were on the defensive immediately when you saw that.
He's like, what? What a great reaction.
Respectful, it's unprofessional.
So you got triggered and were on the defensive immediately when you saw that from
Exactly.
Keem. You did not see that he was actually reaching out to help. You know,
No,
even
not
though
at all. I didn't even know. People had to tell me in my chat this was happening.
So according to like what I've just heard, you were talking shit about him retiring, and he jokingly responded and kind of slapped you a lighthearted slap with a glove, but said, "You know what? I'm gonna hook you up anyway." That's the vibe I'm getting. And you were stuck on that. What year was this, by the way? Just because I kind of have a. So this was recent.
Year.
Roughly a year ago.
Wow. Okay. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting a little further
was
back.
not
I mean, it
expecting
feels
that.
like Phil, you're in this time of like you're trying to find that way past this spot that you're in, and I don't mean to like call anything out, but it does feel like that's being stuck on level 1, right? And it feels like, I mean, shout out to Keem for like actually reaching out after you were talking shit. Like that's not something that happens. And if he was truly trying to help you out, like that's kind of surprising. I wouldn't, if someone was talking shit about me and I was as successful as Keem, I'd been like, fuck this person. I wouldn't even acknowledge them. Especially as you say, it was just some small time. I don't remember what wording you chose, that you weren't even successful in your own mind.
But him talking shit to me isn't a personal thing, right? It's an opportunity for me to make a Twitter video and make some entertainment for my audience. Like when I go on the internet,
that's how you internet right there.
When I go on the internet, I am not thinking about, will people like me? Will people hate me? I'm thinking, let me make a piece of content that people will enjoy watching, whether they like me or hate me.
I mean, I'm sorry that I'm not more talkative. I'm fucking, this is engrossing. Like, this is just, I'm like, yes, keep going. And I don't want to, like, you know, interrupt the flow.
Me or whatever. Let me make some piece of content that people are interested in. That's all I ever think about when I come to the internet is serving viewers. All right.
Phil, hold on, real quick. Phil, are you okay with this? You know, I don't want. Yeah, just with this conversation, you know, I mean, you came on to do an interview with me and Craig. You know, it was a tough interview. You know, we dove deep into throughout, you know, what was going on, and you weren't prepared for. I didn't know that Keemstar would be on the show today. I didn't know either. This is all just kind of happened naturally.
This is the internet.
As the guest on my show, I just wanted to ask you if you're cool. Like, I would love for this to continue. I just want to make sure you're cool with it.
I'm okay with this, but I mean, obviously, we want to get back to the other topics too, right? I mean, we kind of put everything on.
God, we're almost at the end of this marathon, folks.
Sure, but I think something good is happening here, right? We're working through
Oh,
things.
yeah,
we're
something very-
understanding
this is
what each
something
perspective
great's
is. I understand
happening.
your perspective, Phil. I understand Keemstar's perspective. So I got a question for you, Keem. Is this? You don't mind if I call you Keem, do you?
No, that's fine.
Okay,
Everyone
cool.
calls me Keem.
All right. All right. Is the offer still there for this to happen?
I mean,
If Phil is open to it.
I would say potentially, but not really, right? You know, I took Wings of Redemption and Boogie 2988, who were willing to work with me and understood this business opportunity. And I'm setting up a boxing match between the two of them. And I'm going to break the internet with this. All right. This is an awesome opportunity for Wings, an awesome opportunity for Boogie. This is going to be broadcasted on May 13th. And I haven't even announced this anywhere yet. This is an exclusive. It's going to be free to watch.
Oh, shit.
It's going to be free to watch.
What?
And-
What?
Yeah.
Of course.
This is it. I am the guest, right?
Of course.
Okay,
Yeah, please ask. Yeah.
Keem.
Wait, that's going to be free to watch? Did that get kind of like swept under the rug with all the other shit that came out?
You know, again, I understand your reasoning here. You're saying I'm just making content people want to see, right? Is there any line that you won't cross when it comes to content that you think people want to see that you can make profit on? Do you have any kind of restraint? Do you ever feel that morally something is too far? Because I personally and many others hear this about this boxing match coming up. Okay, now let me give you my perspective. Okay.
Okay.
Wings of Redemption, Boogie, two desperate guys. We all know they're down on their luck. They could definitely use some money, right? We all know this. They
Yes.
publicly project that to the internet. They're both, technically, from what we can see and understand, They're kind of unhealthy. Maybe not. Who knows? But you only know
Agree.
what they project, correct?
Maybe not. In what world would either of them be considered healthy?
Do you not feel that having two people like this, overweight, possibly unhealthy, doing a boxing match against each other so that everyone on the internet can laugh at them could possibly, just possibly, be either putting them in harm's way or maybe be considered morally reprehensible because of the repercussions that could happen during this match?
Do you not think they're adults that they can make their own decisions, though, Phil?
That's
I'm
fine.
just
I mean,
curious.
anyone can make their own decisions. That's
I'm
fine.
sorry, Kane. Please answer them.
Let me respond. All right. Every single influencer boxer, whether they're healthy or not, is putting themselves in harm's way for entertainment. They're all warriors, and they all deserve respect. Wings of Redemption and Boogie haven't gotten any respect. In fact, it's disrespect. Very similar to you. All right. And by doing this, they will get respect. Whether people laugh or not, they are going to get respect for jumping in that ring. But you mentioned that they're unhealthy. Of course they're unhealthy. But I can tell you right now, behind the scenes, and nobody knows this, both of them have actively already lost weight training for this fight. This is a
Nice.
positive thing in both of their lives. And I don't think either one of them have the ability to seriously hurt the other. Do you? Do you think they're in real danger by fighting each other? I think these are equal opponents.
Are they a danger to each other? No. Are they a danger to themselves? I would argue yes. I mean, who knows? Like, I'm not going to believe it until they're both in the ring and they fucking ring the bell. Until that happens, I'm going to assume it's not real and that it's still not happening. It needs to be in the ring, then I'll be like, okay, here we fucking go.
This is not a serious boxing match, team. They're not boxers. They don't know anything about boxing. These are two overweight guys that are going to go at it, swinging. You know,
Are you going to
anything can
watch?
happen. No.
Yes, you are.
No,
Yes,
I'm
you
not.
are.
I don't watch
believe
that
you.
crap.
You
I don't
lying
watch your
sack
crap.
of
Phil,
shit.
You're
Phil, you know,
lying.
Sack
you know
of
who is,
shit.
you know who is going to watch it, Phil?
Everyone else.
Me.
Everyone. Great answer.
Right.
That's exactly what I would have said.
I just
Phil-
don't believe you.
What?
You know who is going to watch it, Phil?
Everyone else.
Everyone. Great answer. That's exactly what I would have said.
I just
Phil-
don't believe you. It really comes down to what I just
I'm
said a
not
little
gonna
while
watch it,
ago. When I look at like making content for the internet and doing stuff like this, my question is, will this serve viewers? And I know it will. I know so many people are going to tune in. I know so many people want to see this. And I don't believe you when you say you're not going to watch this. I think you are going to watch this fight.
You're so
Phil-
mistaken. You have known
Phil-
nothing about me then, dude.
Well, let's ask this, Phil. And this is just my morbid curiosity. If there was an opportunity for you, Phil, to do something physical, box, whatever, I don't know, whatever it may be, that was a kind of a YouTuber versus YouTuber opportunity. Would you be open to that?
No.
Open to anything like that?
Wouldn't do it.
No.
That's not what I'm about. I'm on the internet to share my passion for games.
DSP's mic is fucking naturally low, which is annoying as fuck. And I do have this sped up a little bit just so we can, get through this in a timely manner. Because with all the pausing and shit, it's making it run longer. And I know at 10 o'clock, for people who don't know, Phil's going to be watching the side scroller's reaction to this stream. And it wasn't positive. Well, I mean, it was, but not in Phil's eye. So I'm trying to wrap this up so you guys can because I know everyone's going to want to watch that.
To have a cool social interaction with this, my viewers, my fans, whatever you want to call them.
And I apologize, I'm not going to
here
restream it. I know some
mockery of
people
myself
wanted
or,
me to, but
do a publicity stunt. I don't do that.
I'm
kind
going
of
to
stuff,
bed after this, or I'm
We'll
just
say I did,
relaxing.
whatever. It's your perspective. From my perspective, I just want to be in my lane with my viewers, doing a good, fun stuff. I have no aspirations of grandeur or anything like that. I don't want to blow up because I did a stupid internet boxing match with someone. It's so stupid to me. Immature,
That's fine, Phil. If I could finish why I'm frustrated and explaining myself.
Continue.
Because look, this all started with me retiring and you having, a bad opinion on me, and then us having that metaphor of, you being on level 1. Like I really did retire like a year ago. I pretty much did retire. Now I'm doing DLC, but I'm not paying for the DLC. The DLC is paying me, and I'm doing more and more and more and more stuff in this space because I just love it so much. And it comes from a place of you absolutely loving what you do and loving these video games. You know who else likes video games? Wings and Boogie. You don't think the three of you on a podcast would be a good thing? You guys talking about games, giving your opinions, talking about current events and whatnot. You don't think that's a positive thing?
Team, I just said right here on the show, I would love to do a show with those guys. I'm friendly with them. Behind
So-
the scenes, I have conversations.
So when I couldn't get a hold of you and I called you multiple times, it wasn't once and you ignored, it was multiple times. I kept calling, I kept DMing you, and you said, oh, I'm streaming now, and A couple weeks went by.
By the way, that's
And-
false what he's saying, but I'll let him keep going. It's fine. Whatever.
What?
Leave it as fact,
No. We want to hear your perspective. That's what we're doing here.
Did he not call you multiple times?
He called me at least once, maybe twice, but I think it was just once. It could have been twice.
The amount of times that you've said during this interview that you don't really remember is shocking.
Because I don't document this stuff. Why do I care?
But how can you say with such certainty that it wasn't you, or that he didn't call, or that all these things if constantly I'm just calling it out, or, I'm not trying to come at you, but I've just noticed that a lot. So now
That's
you
fine.
say actually he called maybe twice. Could it have been 3 times? Could it have been 4 times?
It definitely
you
wasn't
didn't even
3 or
notice.
4. It was 1 or 2.
How do I know?
3 or 4.
I'm just
Well,
I
regardless,
specifically remember when he called me during a stream, and I'm like, "Who's calling me?" And then when I went on a break, I opened my phone. I'm like, "This must be him," because I don't have his phone number. I'm assuming this must be him because of you get locations tied to phone numbers or whatever. And I'm like, "Why is he calling me when I gave him these specific times to call me? He's calling me when I said I was busy."
but
Why
even
would you
then,
do that?
Phil, you may be busy, but there's a call worth potentially 50 grand plus more on the backside of this that could take 10 minutes. I mean,
Change your life.
and once again, your true fans will understand. Look, I had to get on a phone call. This is a really important business call. I appreciate you guys. And you know what? They're going to stay there with you. They're going to stay there watching because they want to know what's happening. They want to know more about this. Like the idea of not taking.
It's the logic ring is coming in closer and closer.
A call just because you're streaming, like your fans will understand that, man.
No, and again, I didn't even know that was him. I didn't have his number. I'm checking after the fact during a break or whatever. But the fact that this guy can't call me when I'm giving him the times to call was baffling to me. So first, he won't. The true interaction here, I had to DM him. He wouldn't contact me. I had to DM him. He would not talk further in the DM about what this was until I demanded it. I'm like, dude, just tell me what you're talking about to see if I'm interested. I don't want to get on a call with you unless you just say, what if he had said something I'm totally not interested in at all? I can say, no, we're not even bothering with it.
I do kind of wish though that like Keem had just brought up, unless maybe they couldn't, if he had the receipts on this with like the timestamps and everything, like that would have solved this, right?
He wouldn't. I had to like pull strings to get him to even say, okay, I want you to be like a host on a show. And then he wouldn't even talk any further. He demanded a phone call. I'd give him my number. I'd give him the specific times to call. He calls the wrong times.
Well,
right?
I mean,
Guys,
according to what I
just-
hear from Keem, hold on, I just want to say this real quick. According to what I'm hearing from Keem, he was going to put up $150,000 to do a show with 3 guys. Like that's a risk. That's him investing a lot of his income to try to help these guys, for including yourself. And I think a phone call, wanting to do it over a phone call, is like that's nothing in comparison to what he's trying to do. All right, I just need to say that. Keem.
And Phil, listen.
Do you
now
want to
that
know
we're-
why I don't like the phone call idea? Why I wanted it in writing? Would you like to know?
In just a
Why?
second, Keepstar, go ahead.
Phil, now that we're talking about this and we're communicating for the first time back and forth, all right, I can tell just by how you're reacting and what you're saying back to me that you actually understand that this was a great opportunity. And that's why we needed to be on the phone, is so we could actually communicate. We could hear each other's voice. We could talk this thing out. You can ask me questions. The text conversation, the emails back and forth, all right? That's not like really how business gets done. That's how contracts get done. That's how managers communicate back and forth and do deals. But like when we're at the very beginning of an idea and we're trying to figure out what we're going to do with this business, it has to be like real communication back and forth in a phone call, like it is right now.
Wow.
So that's
Okay.
why it was so important for me to get on the phone with you.
Okay.
Do you agree
Does that
or
make sense?
disagree? Does it make sense to you, Phil?
What I was going to say was
Sure.
the reason I wanted it in writing was very simple. All right. Again, you have to understand, Keem, you have a lot of stuff that's said about you on the internet. You know that. We've agreed to that.
But
Right?
so do you.
I'm so
Correct.
sick of hearing that from
But
you.
so do
But
you.
what
It's so
but
frustrating
if I'm
when you
going to
say
deal
that.
with
I'm
this guy,
so sick of hearing that from you, Phil. Whoa.
if I'm going to
I'm
deal
with
with
him.
this guy, if I'm going to deal with this guy, I want our conversation in writing. Because what's to stop me from getting on the phone with Keem, having a conversation, and the next thing I know, he completely lies about what we just talked about to get drama on his content.
Phil, that's like me going to Craig. Like, hell no. I hear
Oh my God. Adam just fucking lost it. Look. Did you see that fucking, I don't think that's the loudest he's spoken, I think, so far in this.
What we just talked about to get drama on his content.
Phil, that's like me going to Craig. Like, hell no. I hear all this shit about Phil. I don't want him to come up here and start fucking wanking it on the show live. You know what I mean? That's like me believing what is on the internet when I think this was actually it was a tough, but it was a good show, and it was a chance for you to come clean and like really try to tackle some of the shit that's out there. But it's like you're using the same kind of shit that people have been using against you, but you're using it against Keemstar. It doesn't make any sense.
I don't listen. I
Yeah.
don't trust the
You
guy.
do
I just
hear it, you
don't.
do see
I don't
it, right?
trust him. I do
But-
not
but-
trust Keem.
But once
You
again,
don't know me. We've never
Right.
even talked.
How do you not trust the man when you're getting your information from the internet? The internet is not a real place.
I can tell you this. I do business with the biggest content creators on this entire planet. All right. I don't just run a show called Drama Alert. I develop video games. I represent YouTubers. I get them brand deals. One of my companies represents the biggest streamer on the planet. I have a long business history with FaZe, Mr. Beast. Like, you don't know anything about me. You don't, right? But if we had a conversation and you got to learn about me and what I've done and the business opportunities that I've created for this industry for the last 15 years, your opinion of me would be wildly different than you watching a drama documentary about me, something that you're against. Like, this is blood money. But that's where you got your information from.
Yeah, basically.
We talked a lot positively about you. Why do you think I watched a drama video about you? That's not what I watched.
So it talked positively about me, but by watching it, you had a negative view of me.
I respect you immensely, but I don't know after all the...
You lying sack of shit!
I respect you immensely. Shut the fuck up. No, you don't. If you respect him immensely, you would have taken the fucking phone call.
It's not just that. There's other things too. Other people that have said things about you and their dealings with you. I have to kind of be protective of myself and my business and my family.
Was there ever a
risk of being
story
involved with you? I do. I feel there's a risk that I could be, hung out to dry somehow.
I know that there's multiple things that I've done wrong in my career, like 1,000%. I have said outlandish things in the attempt of making entertainment and entertaining people. In 2015, one of the biggest things, my team got a story wrong, and I went on air with the story wrong and falsely accused someone of being a pedo. It was wrong identity. It wasn't even the same guy. All right. If you look at that story and actually look into it, the person that exposed Keemstar for that and brought that to the internet was Keemstar. I exposed myself for getting it wrong. I right away tried to make, it right with that guy, offer him 20 grand. This is like back in 2015. If you actually look into any of this stuff about me, you're going to see Keemstar saying wild effed up stuff, and he's definitely wrong. But you're going to see Keemstar making mistakes and trying to make amends for it if you actually take the time to look into it. Now, you're on this show asking these audience, detractors, these gentlemen running this podcast to treat your story and what's said about you fair. I should have gotten the same respect from you, or at least a respect to get a phone call.
Wow.
So we could better know each other.
Phil,
but that didn't happen. And if I could finish, because I'm almost done with representing, my point in all this. I called him multiple times. I couldn't get a hold of him. It rubbed me the wrong way right from the beginning when he was trying to send me to an email, which made no sense to me. And I think 2 weeks roughly went by, and I went on YouTube, and because I was looking up DSP stuff, doing research for the podcast, the algorithm sent his live stream in my feed. So I tune into it. And I'm telling you, the minute I tuned in, I saw Phil begging for money to pay rent and utilities. And I just lost it in his chat. I'm like, I cannot believe that you're doing this right now. 2 weeks ago, I was trying to get a hold of you, offering you the greatest opportunity you've ever been offered in your entire career. Phil, if this podcast was a success, all right, everyone in the chat and you are looking at $50,000. It wouldn't be $50,000. This podcast would make millions. It would be a wild success. It would be a brand. This is something that would be clipped on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram. People would talk about this, just like you're being clipped on your little live stream now, except for we would have an opportunity to monetize it.
This is amazing. Like I said, I'm sorry I'm kind of quiet, but I figure I can't do anything to make it better. So let's get back to it.
Phil, do you understand kind of the obviously, I think what Keem is saying, he has this business experience, right? He's offering you an opportunity. You turn the other way, but there's a lot of things that you're saying today. You're talking about Keem making mistakes, saying things, doing business the wrong way. That can also be said about yourself. And the things that you're saying are very, it's like holding a mirror up to yourself, because I feel like there's actually a lot of similarities between Keemstar making mistakes. You've made mistakes, things that we touched on during this podcast, right? You do understand the similarities between what your argument is for not wanting to work with him and the reason why you have so many detractors.
Sure. What I would say is the difference between me and Keem, outside of wild amount of popularity difference, is that if you take a look at the body of work that I've done in the 15 years I've done it, all right, you would say, has Phil ever really outright with anything he's done actually concretely hurt someone to the point where You know,
Yes.
Wow, what a heinous person. People will
Yeah.
say that about Keem. They will say that about Keem. Okay. And at the end of the day, when I have to make business decisions about who I'm going to associate with and who I'm not going to, that's a factor, and it's a moral factor for me. It has nothing to do with Keem's business sense. Keem, you are a great businessman. Everyone knows that. I think you would actually run the podcast very, very well. I do. I would love to do this podcast with Boogie and Wings. I have a problem with you morally, dude, with the content you put out. I do. And
I'm gonna-
let him
you should
respond. Let him
respect it.
respond to that.
Listen, you just said that you've never hurt anyone, right? And you talking trash doesn't hurt me. That's just an opportunity, right? But when you treated me the way you did behind the scenes, this sounds like bullshit coming from me, but you hurt me. I was offended. I was hurt. Like, why are you treating me like this? Why can't you treat me like a man, and why can't we have a conversation? If you came to the conclusion that, no, I don't want to do this, this isn't right for me, that's fine. But you really showed me no respect at all. It was so disrespectful how you were treating me, making me email. I have to call at a certain time. I'm calling and you're not answering the phone. And then when people were asking, your fans asking online, why didn't you do this podcast with Keem? During this whole time, I forgot to mention this, he was still talking bad about me publicly.
Keem, you just said it. Like, just what you just described is probably the main reason I have a problem with you. You are someone who has no self-awareness, and you think that you're the most important thing. You tweeted on your... Twitter that I should contact
So
you
that's
about-
where that came from. That's where I just saw. I've seen this image going around. I didn't know what it was from, though. I mean, obviously, I didn't know what the context was that made this. That's hilarious.
a business opportunity. No one does that. They contact the person about the business opportunity directly.
We all do it. We all do
Everyone.
it.
Yeah,
It's the internet, Phil.
Phil, it's
Like,
the internet, man.
and
Yeah.
you said you've been doing this for 15 years, but like, do you not understand the way algorithms work, the way anger is addictive, and how people are hooked on crazy shit? Go ahead.
I want no part of that drama. I
Phil,
don't want to be
Phil,
on a
Phil, can you-
podcast that is going to be about that. I don't want to be involved with someone.
That's not what he was. I don't even know what the podcast was going to be about.
He's being egomaniacal. I have to just listen
Phil,
to what you
I'm
said.
not.
Keem,
Phil.
you just said my whole life should have stopped because you wanted to contact me. Really?
I did
my
not say
whole
that.
life. You
No,
just
he
said
didn't say that.
answer
I
the
did
call
not
at
say
any
that.
time, even though I
Phil,
gave you the times to call me.
Can I
Answer
give
the
you
call
some
at any time at
context?
all.
Can I give you some context? From the time I wake up to the time I go to bed, every single day, I talk to at least 20 different content creators. And this is true. This is not an exaggeration. You know, I run an influencer boxing, Happy Punch. We represent fighters that do boxing. I have all my staff. I have YouTubers and content creators that we represent business-wise with brand deals and stuff like that. And then I run Trauma Alert, right? So I have to get on the phone with different content creators to validate stories or get people's takes so I can, inject that into the story to make sure that, like, what I'm reporting and what I'm talking about is accurate and have a full perspective, right? How all this business operates, right, between content creator and content creator is like Twitter DMs. It's like a tweet, DM me. Yo, let's hop on a phone call. When we're talking about contracts and stuff, then you have lawyers, you have managers, they're in emails, emailing each other back and forth. But the content creators, which we are both content creators, we are on the same level. I'm not higher than you. You're not higher than me. We have a mutual respect as content creators. We should be able to be in Twitter DMs and then get on a phone call. And you didn't treat me like that. You treated me like dirt. This is not about me thinking I'm God. This is about how you treated me in those Twitter DMs.
Keem, I gave you the times to call. You called at different times, and we never had another interaction ever again. How was I disrespectful to you?
So when they ask me, is this opportunity, still available? When I say maybe, because like, I don't know how I could work with you. You are very, very difficult to work with, to even communicate with, firsthand.
Wait, what?
Because I didn't drop everything to talk to you, I'm difficult to communicate with, even though I
But
have
what are you dropping?
publicly listed ways to contact
What?
me.
Please explain to me what you're dropping. Like, what is so important that's happening that you can't get on a phone call with me?
My work, my job. I'm here 6 days a week, full-time streaming to make a living.
But this job that I'm about to offer you would pay wildly more and solve all these problems that you have going on.
First of all, you don't know what it's going to solve. That's a huge assumption. Second of all, I didn't know what the thing was because you never told me. You didn't call at the time you were supposed to.
Didn't
We're
Boogie
going
give
to
you?
We are going in a loop. You're
Yeah.
right.
It's happened a lot on this episode so far.
Right. So look, I think let's leave it here, right? A bridge has been gapped. You know, we brought a bridge together, right? I don't know if something's going to come from this with Keem and Phil, and there's obviously still friction there, and that's fine. But I'm glad you guys had an opportunity to talk, and I think more than anything, Phil, you know, you're learning more about.
I'm sorry. Phil tweeted, tonight's stream is going to be a fucking doozy. Look at this. Maybe I do have to stay up for this. Not that. Put the fuck away. Sorry for the brightness there. This is not a logged in thing. Oh. Yes, it will.
You know, business in 2022, 2023, and how interactions, you know, and the importance of being quick.
The good thing is that with the because I haven't been talking and stopping, the stream is going to end, you know, or at least this part thing will end before that. I don't know if I'm going to stay on
and
it.
Things like that longer, because that's in reality that's how business works now. So.
I might just jump in someone's chat and watch it.
Because again, I already had a negative association in my head of who Keem is. I had really very little interest in doing any work with him. If it was someone else, maybe I would have. But you know, that's the association I had. I had a moral issue working with the guy, so it wasn't a big deal to me that he was reaching out to me.
Before I leave, because I'm pretty much done, I've expressed everything that I want.
I appreciate it.
Can I give you some criticism?
Me?
Bill, is that okay?
Yeah, because I came in saying that I'd be respectful and I wouldn't dunk on you or any of that stuff, but I do have some criticism that I desperately want to express to you.
As long as it's respectful and it's not, you know.
I'm going to do this in the most respectful way, and then I'll go. And of course, you can respond. But
oh God, this should be good.
I don't condone people harassing you, people doxing you, people going into your private, you know, life and doing all this horrible stuff that they've done. But I believe the reason why this has happened is because people don't trust you. You don't come across as trustworthy. So when you're on stream and you're asking to pay utilities and rent and all that stuff, the audience is getting frustrated and they look at you like you're a scammer and they want to know where this money is going. Well, how is he always in this situation? What is he spending his money on? And that is the motivation to dive into your personal life. You had an opportunity on this show, and I watched it, to just pull up the screenshot and show the WWE account, and you didn't do it. Your internet cut off. At that point, when your internet cut off and you were DDoSed and you were gone off stream, the opportunity is now gone. It's gone. Because while your internet was out, you could have made a fake screenshot, all right? You're never, ever going to be able to prove what your WWE account was or is ever again, because people will say he just photoshopped it. He just made it up. You're never going to be able to prove that.
Anyway.
You had one opportunity to do it right away with these guys, and that was it. And you didn't take advantage of it, because I personally, watching it, and so did the audience, thought that you were lying. And if you are lying, if it is true and you're not being honest, if I were you, this is the best advice I could give you, right? Is just be like, look, this was my account. This is that. I would ask for a clean slate and I would do things different, because this restarting level 1 over and over and over again is the root of all your problems, if that makes any sense.
I appreciate the input. It's not true, so I'm not going to do that. But I appreciate the input. If it were true, I would fess up to it.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for having me on.
Keem, sir, thanks. Appreciate it, man. I'll appreciate you hopping on. Really appreciate it.
Definitely.
All right. Hey, Phil, you've been throwing curveballs today, which I did not see coming. All right. I did not see them coming at all. But
Story of my life, Craig. Story of my life.
Hey,
yeah,
I appreciate
props
you.
for still being here.
Do you want to keep going? I've got till around 4 p.m.
Indeed. Props for still being here.
Going. If you have more questions, I'm down for it.
So,
hold on.
let me say this.
Look, they're like, okay, what excuse can we have to get the fuck out of here?
I
It's
reached
almost
out.
10 p.m. for me, and I haven't had dinner, and so I can't go much longer.
Give us 15 minutes. Let's go 15 more minutes.
Okay.
And if you guys are new, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. Once again, we stream Monday through Friday at 11 a.m.
Gotta get
Central
that plug
time.
in.
We have some
Hey, I'm
great
not
interviews
yelling
coming
at
up.
him.
Once again, Mark the Cyborg, James Roth, the Angry Video Game Nerd coming up. So make sure you guys are here for those. We'd really appreciate it. Once again, you can follow us over on Twitter at Side Scroller Pod. You can follow me at you can see down there, and Adam as well.
I mean, honestly, if I was Craig, I would have been like, okay, that's you know, I'm gonna call it, because we can't do anything else. There's too much has been said,
and obviously Darkside Phil as well.
And that's why I don't do this shit.
So I
because
reached out. So
Craig-
we only have like 15 more minutes.
Kept going.
And once again, I appreciate everybody hopping in, being a part of the day, being a part of the stream, and all your super chats have been amazing. I want to let you know that we will definitely take a look at them. I don't think we're going to read them on stream, but during our post show over at patreon.com/sidescrollers, we'll bring Blabs and Travis in, and we'll continue on while so Adam can go get some food. But I wanted to play some audio. This is actually, I reached out to several of your detractors, Phil, and I thought it would be fair to allow them to ask questions. So I wanted to play this for you, and we'll just kind of go from there. Okay? Does that sound good?
Sure. Fire away.
Are you okay with that?
It's like, fuck it, why not?
I don't know who they are. I don't know what they're saying, obviously. So.
Well, this is from It's a Gundam. Are you familiar with that name?
I'm familiar with the name, and I'm definitely familiar with the voice.
Okay, well, you're gonna know the voice. So here you go. This is a question from him.
Hey there, Philly cheesesteak. Guess who it is? Your favorite YouTuber. We're best friends. Remember that time you thought it'd be funny to put a restraining order on me, Filbert? Well, Philly, my question is, what the hell did you spend $500,000 on? You didn't pay off your house. You didn't pay off the condo. You didn't pay off any car you own. You're in debt. Where did the money go? Why did you take business loans? What did you use the business loan money for? You never improved your content. You've been using the same camera for nigh on 5,000 years. If it wasn't for, like, the Dutch brothers sending you a new web camera or, like, LEDs in the background, you'd have no ideas. Where'd the money go? You're like a politician in San Francisco. If I went to the mayor and I said, Mayor of San Francisco, where did all that money go, that $120 million you defunded the police with and put into black communities? Where did it go? You know, Phil, you screwed up. You never should have been a YouTuber. You should have been a politician in San Francisco. You would have gotten away with it, baby, if it wasn't for those meddling detractors.
Is it going to end at some point?
All right, it's over now.
It's actually not too late. I mean, politicians tend to be older.
Mm-hmm. Look, that was a long question. I think my first question after that is,
I think we handled that though already. We talked about that shit.
Well, but the 500,000. That's the first I've heard of that figure. Where is that?
No,
coming from,
I mentioned it earlier. We talked about it. And
Could be the bankruptcy. I'm not sure.
And I asked him, and if it was the bankruptcy, and I think that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you taken out any business loans? And if so, what were they used for?
Business loans? No. Everything, all that debt that got written off was credit cards and stuff. Now I'm trying to think. Oh, I had personal loans, not business loans. I've never taken out any kind of loan officially in the name of the business or anything like that. No.
Why not?
Is there anything else, like, I don't know. It's very rarely do you have an opportunity to kind of interact with.
Did he used to be on the Howard Stern show? His voice is so familiar to me. He used to be. Was he that clown guy? Seriously.
I know who. Oh, okay. He does kind of sound like Yucko the Clown. Okay, because someone had mentioned Howard Stern. I was like, what do you mean? I used to be a big Stern Show fan. Okay, he means Yucko the Clown. Okay.
He sounds just like him. Now, I don't know. He's one of the many detractors who make videos about me. I've literally.
They do kind of sound alike. That guy's name is Roger, though.
Do you think that by not watching his videos, you're like, do you think that if you were to spend time watching their videos, you'd be able to react and, you have a reaction channel? Don't you think there's an entire niche market of you reacting to negative content about yourself?
Perhaps in the future, yes. Now that I'm doing that, it's only been in operation for a month. It's something that I would consider dabbling in the future. The thing is, as I
you lying sack of shit, you lying sack of shit.
Just the worse it gets. It eggs them on to do more. So my opinion is, people are not coming to my channel to see this. They don't care about that. They want to see gameplay. They want to see whatever. I don't want to inundate them with that stuff, so I don't address it.
Okay. I was going to say a new show idea: the Detractor Reactor.
Yeah, maybe that should be something we do. A whole
Pretty good.
show where I react to
I've given you 2 good show names so far.
I did react to the original This Is How You Don't Play last year. So just we want to talk two sides of the fence of how it's completely unfair how I'm treated. The guy tried to take it off the internet, so I couldn't react to it. Everyone else had done it, but when I went to do it myself, no, you can't do that, Phil. Like, what are you talking about? It's fair use.
You got to download it. Got to download it next time.
Well, someone gave it to me. So
can we talk about that though, real quick? Have you ever tried to remove reactive content for your business that people have reacted from
reactive content? So you're saying someone actually watching my content and reacting to it,
or just posted clips of it?
The only time that I have tried to ever take anyone down was straight up ripping the raw content and illegally reposting it with absolutely no sack of shit whatsoever added to it.
You lying sack of shit.
Talking about it, that's transformative. I know, because everyone does it. There's a judge that made a ruling on that. The only way that really legally you should be able to take anything down is if they just right now, if they rip this raw podcast from Side Scrolls and put it on their channel, no context, no commentary, that's illegal. Everything else is fine. So no, I've never tried to do that at all.
You lying sack of shit.
Or reacting content like that. No.
So I understand that, right? And technically, legally, you are correct, right? But this goes back to, like, this is the internet, and the internet. I know that people are going to take this episode and, like, I'm sure Gundam and Keem and all sorts of people are going to go and they're going to make content based off of this content. But ultimately, and we could get upset about that because legally, right? But ultimately, that's going to help the show. That will benefit side scrollers because more people know about side scrollers, right? So I just feel like I've kind of zeroed in on what's happening. Like, Phil, the internet has has changed, and you haven't necessarily changed with the internet. Over, whether it's the things that we've talked about today, and so there's big opportunity for you to adapt and change with the internet. You've changed some formats, you've changed some, changed your content and such, but the internet still is adapting, and it's adapting literally exponentially fast, and it's something that needs to be done if you're going to be a relevant content producer online. And I don't know, I would just love to hear your thoughts on that. That's just
I actually did tweet Craig. I don't think this is what he's necessarily referring to, or this wasn't the thing, but I tweeted and I said, ask him about striking shit because what is it? What the fuck's his name? Mighty D's backup channel got terminated, DMCA'd, and of course Phil's name was on it. Honestly, I don't think it's him doing it, but I said to Craig, I retweeted, I said, hey, ask Phil about this.
a reoccurring theme that I've heard today.
Well, of course, what I'm going to say is, well, today I've changed and I'm much different. He said that a million times already on the show, right? I mean, I really am trying to be different and more receptive to criticism and being open, like the React stuff I'm doing right now that I just
You lying sack of shit.
That's something I was so against for so many years. And that's a running pattern with me. I'm stupid. I'm ignorant. I say dumb stuff. Then someone finally says, hey, Phil, wake up, stupid head. Check this out. And actually, there is some meaning to doing that. You can add context. You can add, your own perspective.
So you're saying you're a stubborn idiot. That's what you're literally just saying right now, Phil.
You can make a React that's not just being dumb stuff, but instead intelligent content. And now I know that. I need to keep doing that. I feel like I'm getting better at it. It's a work in progress, just like everything in life, and with any person who's trying to grow or evolve. It's a work in progress for me to become more open-minded. I feel I'm a lot better at walking in other people's shoes now. I'm a lot better at listening to other perspectives and suggestions for improvement. You're right. I need to adapt and be open-minded to change in the future. Correct.
Phil, I gotta say, it took a lot of balls to come on the show and handle the questions.
If anything, that's the one actual positive thing I hear is that Phil never gives up. Phil is the unbreakable rock that the waves crash against, and he's still going to be here at the end. You know what I'm saying? Like, I put up with all of it, and I'm not going anywhere, man. I'm going to keep making content. I'm not going to give up on it. I love it. It's my passion. It really is my passion. Best job I've ever had, and I'm happy.
You lying sack of shit.
To be honest with you as much as I could. Thank you. You guys were great hosts. I know it sounds like we're ending now. It was a great opportunity at least to get my perspective out there. Thank you.
Well, and we appreciate you coming on. We still got a few more minutes because I want Adam to be able to get food. But is there anything that you feel that you need to touch on before we leave, before we part today? Is there
there's so much. I mean, we could go on for hours and hours. The things people have said about me grooming my ex-girlfriend.
Is that what you want to focus on, though? He asked you specifically, is there anything that you want to bring up?
Okay, well, let's do this. Phil, would you be open to coming back on again?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, cool. We could do like a part 2. And
if I was Adam, I would have. My head would have exploded if I was there. Probably Craig,
hit on more of those things, right? Because I want to be conscious of everybody's time. All right, well, let's do this. We'll schedule a part 2 for some time down the line, right? And
no, we won't.
And get you on for a part 2. But in the meantime,
tonight,
what is the one thing that you wish you could address right now that we haven't addressed today?
Oh my gosh.
Well, the first thing you just said was that grooming shit. Like, what's up with that? Because I don't like it.
It's blatantly false. It's my ex I met. She contacted me. I never contacted her. She contacted me via YouTube DMs when they were a thing. That's how long ago this was, over a decade ago. She was an adult, a legal adult. We spoke for months before we ever started dating. People say I met her when she was like 16 and I groomed her for years. I never even spoke to her until after she was 18. It's a complete and bold-faced lie. Okay.
You lying sack of shit.
I'm sorry.
You lying sack of shit.
I talked to my wife about it. I want to get this out in the open. People say that I'm some kind of a horrible woman abuser, and basically I groom these women and I bring them into to my personal life. My wife and I met online, casually talking for a few months before we ever started dating or anything like that. Okay. Basically, she was in a really bad place in her life, an abusive relationship. She got out of that relationship, and when she did, then we started talking a little bit more romantic.
What?
Things pursued. People made stuff up and said that I basically stole her from her ex and that he's a victim. It's funny because when you look on the internet, they will find all this public information about me and my personal life. They'll find my bankruptcy. They'll find all these statements. Did you ever find the restraining order that she had against her ex because he was hitting her? Right?
No, because I don't think that thing that you just said exists. The bankruptcy exists. The swatting record exists. But I don't think anyone has found this yet.
But, make him look like a good guy on the internet, right? Which is what they've done. My detractors have actually done this. They've gone into her personal life with her family. She has nothing to do with me or my content. Stop. If you're going to mess with me, that's one thing. Leave my family, leave my everyone out of it. Make fun of me. Put the brunt on me. It's one of my biggest regrets as a content creator. I never meant for anyone to get hurt doing this. Never. I feel awful.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
day.
Look
She's
at him.
awful about things going on. Like, why are they saying these things about her? She has nothing to do with any of this. Leave her out of it, all right? Just all this stuff. I mean, I'm sure there's a million other things. There'll be a part 2. We'll get to it then. But those are 2 things that have always been horrible to women. If anything, you will never, ever, 1,000,000%, you will never find someone on the internet saying that Phil was in a sex scandal, Phil was abusive to women in the past. I have never done that in my life. 1,000,000%.
You lying sack of shit.
And it really irks me the wrong way. So.
I understand. All right. Well, look, I think this is a great place to stop. Like I said, let's definitely. I'll email you.
This is a great
I won't
place
DM you.
to
I promise.
stop.
I'll email you, and we'll set up a part 2. I think that there's still a lot to cover, but I know that I speak for everybody when I say we appreciate your time, we appreciate your patience, we appreciate taking the time to allow us to kind of poke and prod. And I know you I had no intention of this being like an interrogation interview. Hopefully, you didn't feel like it was an interrogation interview, but hopefully you feel like we were fair, because I feel like I said, I try to be fair to me, fair to whoever we're interviewing, and fair to the audience. So hopefully you feel that was the case.
I do. Ultimately, I would hope that once
What the
we've
fuck?
had all these episodes of the interrogation, that I can just be a normal
Oh,
guest.
God
I love you
damn
guys,
it.
man. I used to be a huge Screw Attack fan back in the day. You were playing a video.
Is
2
this
days ago
stream
of
coming
Magfest
in
when
like
we were
delayed
peeing on
or
Shaq Fu.
weird?
I was in that video. That's how long I've been a fan of Screw Attack.
Because I guess I left my VPN
I don't want this
on,
whole
and
show to be the Dark Side
It's
Phil show.
broadcasting different than usual.
Hopefully we'll be able to get to that point. I love it for sure. Well, once again, if you guys are new, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. We're going to end the stream here. Once again, make sure you guys subscribe for part 2. But we're going to continue.
Before we end, hold on. I just want to say to everyone who supported today, thank you so much. I don't know how we're going to handle it. We've been going for 5 hours. This is, I had no idea what to expect. It's pretty crazy, but I really do want to say thank you to everyone out there who, whether you know our show or not, this is like kind of like what they just said. It's not what our show is. We shoot the shit about video games, talk about weird cultural stuff. It's a lot of fun. I feel like Craig and Phil were talking, and Craig wanted to give Phil
I could have sworn I fucking turned it off,
platform
though.
to basically, make your piece. So I don't know when number 2 will be, but normally we read all our super chats throughout it, and it didn't feel appropriate to do that today because I'm sure there's a lot of them that are probably really good super chats, but there's probably a lot of them that are really would throw things to the side. We know about everything that is going on the internet. I feel like Craig did a fantastic job of putting questions together. That was his journalism degree, by the way. I mean, fantastic. He actually used it for the first time in his life. Congratulations, by the way, Craig.
All right, nice.
So thank you very much for your support. I really appreciate you all. All right, please continue, Craig.
Yeah, and once again, we're going to continue with our post show over on. And Phil, you can bounce whenever you like. But we're going to
I'll stick around, man. Listen, support good people making good content. These are good people. Your other hosts are good people. I would love to do a post show with you guys too if you want. I'm here.
Okay, sounds good. Well, we'll continue the post show over there, over at patreon.com/sidescrollers. You guys can go over there and support the show there. We appreciate everybody popping in. I hope that you guys come back tomorrow. That's the big thing. You can have a great show, but I want to see you guys tomorrow and join this amazing little positive community we have going on over here. So make sure you guys hit the subscribe button on your way out.
Look at
Mark it on your
Phil. He
calendar
looks
every
so
Monday through
beaten.
Friday at 11 o'clock Central Standard Time. So with all that said, remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got a goal. Go get it. I'll see you guys later. Twitch, we're going to say goodbye to you now. Goodbye. And all our friends over on YouTube, we'll see you guys over on patreon.com/sidescrollers.
I'm sorry, I need to vent something, or not vent.
Oh, was that too early?
But like,
it was too early, but not too gone. We're about to finish now. So bye. There we go. Lots of fatalities.
like,
all right,
my wife came in the room and
huh?
What?
Is that how it ended? That's how it ended? That's weird. But like, wow. What an emotional roller coaster that was. Jesus Christ. Like, even I'll admit it. I mean, how many of us we have to admit these guys fucking killed it? Like, not even just them, but just like them, like, seeing and bringing Keem on and making that great content too. I think we'll recon this. Well, he's reacting to. He's already retconned it. He did that like yesterday, or sorry, today. No, I mean yesterday. Excuse me. But now today he's going to react to this thing. I mean, we're not going to watch the whole thing, just to clue people in. I'll give it a timestamp. Yeah, like this. This is what he's going to react. Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot to move the thing. I'm an asshole. This is what he's going to react to. Look at the thumbnail of this. like even they just totally saw through everything. And then I'll just pull up Aqua Teal. I believe she made the video. Yeah.
But I want to give you, Adam, the opportunity to kind of say what you wanted to say, your overall thoughts about the interview, because you're the one person that we haven't really heard from after yesterday. And I think you're the person people probably want to hear from most.
What?
I don't even know how to start, like, to really give my thoughts on it. I'm almost. That's fine. I got it.
Real quick, while you do this, I'm gonna scroll the super chats on the bottom so they get acknowledged while you're talking, and just know that we see them and we're reading them and we acknowledge them and we thank you. So the floor is yours, though, Adam. So.
Oh yeah. So just a quick thing to this, and this will be more relevant later. So I gave some super chats. I did like a $2 one and a $5 one. I mean, these guys fucking deserved it. They knocked it out of the park. And they made a shitload. They made like 1,500, I think, today. Over 1,300. They made that just for this, not counting the interview that he had, that they did the previous day. God, I don't even remember how much money they made. There may even more at that. But anyway, so I done the super chat, but they had so many super chats. Like he's not kidding. They got way behind. And like the first one I did was early and just complimenting them, and they read it early. I'm like, okay, cool. But they still hadn't read mine. I'm not like I mean, you make the donation, you expect it to be acknowledged. You don't pay to not have that happen. So I'm getting a little bummed out that they didn't read my comment, because I thought I made like a good comment, and you'll see when why I would think that. But then when he played it here, instead of them just reading it on the air, seeing it on the screen, I was like, oh my God, that's so much fucking better than if they had read it.
Okay. So, I've traveled around a lot in the world. I've met a lot of people in my life, a lot of people that use and lie to get ahead. And it feels like that's kind of the world we live in right now. People don't want to work hard for easy living. People want the easy path to easy living. And life is a challenge. You have to work to be successful. The most successful people work their ass off to become successful. And I feel like most of these internet personalities, they try to get the easy path. And a lot of the people that are successful in this world work their ass off. Like, say what you will about Tim Pool, that dude works his fucking ass off and deserves the success that he's made, right? I mean, it doesn't matter what happened between him and I. That's irrelevant. Like, he works his ass off, is very knowledgeable about what he does, and he earned his success. That's
give
props
me a
to
fucking
him,
break.
Right? Someone like
I'm so sorry. I wasn't referring to this. What's happening on wrestling now is give me a fucking break.
DSP, he just wants that success without any of the hard work, or he thinks that he's working hard. I work 6 days a week. He tried to lay out this whole thing that he works all day and 12 hours. He only gets an hour with his wife. Like, bro, that's a fucking problem. You should spend more time with your wife. You should spend more time doing other things, and then making yourself right.
Well, we got a little bit more, Brian, but we got to go.
I turned into a fucking therapist yesterday, and I'm not a therapist. I'm just a logical based person that I'm a straight shooter. I call it as I see it. I said it yesterday. My friends call me an honest asshole because I'm always honest with them, but they appreciate that with me because I'm going to be honest. Like, if you're doing some shit that I think is stupid, I'm going to call you out on it. I'm going to tell you, like, you're being a fucking idiot. Be smart with your money. Stop. You're spending $1 on a freaking mobile game. $1 is too much. If you can't afford to fucking eat or pay your rent or pay fucking electricity bills, what the fuck are you wasting money? Like, you shouldn't spend a cent. So it's like, even that he even admitted that he's spending any amount of money on that shit was too much. It's like, come on, dude, be smart about your money. It was so clear throughout yesterday that he's a fucking idiot when it comes to spending money. Yeah, I said it, Phil. I'm not. I'm just being brutally honest. Honest asshole. All right, you get what you get when you're talking to me.
I can't wait to see him react to this.
And clearly, fuck, that was a bad pun too. Jeez. You know what I mean? Like, you came on our show, and things happened, right? So it's very clear you're hiding something. And people are making really good points that you're probably scared you're going to get in trouble from going through that bankruptcy. You said yesterday the bankruptcy saved you. Like everything was going to be good from now on. Twitch was paying you well, and these fucking assholes ruined your shit on Twitch because you say racist shit. And it's like, all right, you do. Like, all right, make those fucking jokes. But don't be surprised when you get booted off the platform. Who are very clearly in the woke, man. Twitch is. I don't like Twitch. I don't like that they fucked over the partner program. It's not even worth being a partner.
I need to say this one quick thing here. I apologize for bringing that, but like, what is going on now? Did I miss something where people are just saying now, fuck Twitch's rules? I've seen these guys and other people doing multi-stream, but people who are Twitch affiliates, which is against the Twitch terms of service. I had to even double check it today just to make sure I wasn't losing my mind. Like, I knew obviously partners couldn't, but affiliates still can't either. So what's up with all these podcasts or streams now just multi-streaming like that? Like fucking the Wrestling Observer Live, they do that. Like, do we just not care? Does Twitch not really enforce this rule anymore? Because I'm seeing it like being broken everywhere. Like everyone's multi-streaming now.
Anymore, and they have the freaking a deer on their freaking. If no one cares, I'll start multi-streaming. I don't know what the hell it's called. Like who gets to be on? Like I think it's a they. No, it's a deer. It's a deer self. I don't know what the fuck they identify as. Shit is crazy. But that's who's working at Twitch now. So what are you surprised that your whole Twitch career just got flopped because some people called you out for making some racist jokes? Fine, make some racist jokes. Do it. Be you. Don't fucking try to act like you've changed. Own who you are. Don't be a fucking bitch. Fucking be the person you want to be and fucking own it. Find a platform that's going to allow you to be that person. All right. I gave you 2 great ideas for a show, right? This is how you don't game. Use it to your advantage. Own who you are. All right. Put that fucking box of tissues behind you because you did wank on screen. All right. Fucking own it. You're never going to catch me fucking pulling my dick out live because I'm not a fucking idiot. All right. You made the mistake. You were an idiot. Own it. All right. I'm sick of people that are just like, I'm a victim. I'm a victim. Yes, being a victim happens, but you're choosing to remain a victim and using it to milk your subscribers, the people that support you. You know what? I have no respect for people who take advantage of the people who support them. I love my chat. My chat is the reason why I'm successful and I'm able to sit in my house and talk about my opinions online. It's not that hard of a job. It's fun. I fucking love it. I get to play video games and people watch me.
I'm such an ass. I was so entranced by the fucking like team material. I completely forgot to even check to make sure my kids fucking went to bed tonight.
And pay me.
It's not worth me doing it now.
Play video games. You get to do the same. You lucky fucking asshole.
God,
how dare you fucking bitch about it? Own it. All right? I'm sick of it. Stop being a fucking victim and own your shit. All right, I'm done. I'm done.
Nah, man.
That felt good. That felt good. I had to
good. Get it out. Get it out. I love it. I love it. Like I think that at the end of the day, look, there are common themes on this show, right? Common sense and responsibility, right? Those have been a common theme from the start, and everything you said rings true with those. Like we are so freaking lucky to be able to do
that.
One second. Dude. I'll leave it on.
So fucking lucky. I love my life. I love doing what I do. I got to buy my fucking house. I love my house. And it's all thanks to you guys. Like the people who support me online all around the globe. I got people all in different countries that are like, man, you're fucking great. Thank you for doing what you do. Shout out from Panama. Shout out from Ireland. Shout out from fucking wherever. And it's like, this is fucking awesome. Like I got people all around the globe trying to support me. And it's like, I will never look at them like a dollar sign. I've met people that do that. And I have zero respect for it. There's many people in this circle that do that. And it's like, man, as soon as you do that, the audience knows. They can feel it. They could sense it when you don't give a shit about them anymore. And then you start guilting them. Like, dude, you can't guilt your audience. They're going to support you if you're worth supporting. Okay. And you cease being worthy of their support when you see them as dollar signs instead of people that live fucking lives. That's life. As I said, life is tough. All right. They're choosing to give their money to you to support you. Like, that's amazing.
Well, I mean, I gotta say something. Like, I'm totally on board with him. Like, I'm new to this, like, relatively. Anyway, it's like just the fact that anyone even would want to watch me do anything on stream and like chat, and the thing too he mentioned about like the fact that there's people like worldwide. I've talked to people who like live in other countries, people from all walks of life. Like, that just amazes me every time. And when they give me money, it's like, oh my God, you actually want to go and do that? Thanks. Like, that's literally, and that's what Phil just doesn't understand. Like, that's money that could literally go to anything else. Yet he feels like he deserves or he's entitled to it. And it's just so, I still remember I showed my, mainly the reason, this was low key, like the main reason I made that fundraiser video. It was the only reason why we're even here. Is because of my friend Vince, who comes on stream once in a while. I played him the part where DSP went nuts on the guy who suggested the Street Fighter cookbook, which was right before the fundraiser, and his vitriol they spewed out there, and Vince just goes, "I can't believe he talks that way to his fans." Like, he was in shock. He couldn't believe what he was seeing, and I'm like, yeah,
they don't have to do that. They have their own fucking
just a
problems.
lack of self-awareness.
But for them to actually share some of their hard work, time is money, all right? So they're sharing their life with you. And when you cease to make that connection, that it's a person sharing their life, their money, their time with you, you're not worthy anymore.
God,
there's so many people that see, you're right.
God,
there's a lot of people in this game that see their audience as dollar
the camera's on.
And that's something that look, you got to pay your bills. I get it, right? But at a certain point, when you are out there and you're, man, maybe too deep. But I had a business partner who told me to, who wanted me to apologize to an audience member because quote, they pay our bills. They pay our bills, and it's like, man, F right off, dude. Like, I'm your business partner, and because they donate $5, like, you want me to bend the knee, like, because you see them, their $5 that they donate.
How are there no restreamers on YouTube?
More valuable than our relationship? Like, that's messed up. That's messed up. So I 100% agree with you. 100% agree with you.
Or are they all on Twitch?
Good job. You all right?
I feel like I need a cigarette now. Shit.
Good for you.
Fishes.
So I guess Ant's playing Mario Kart. I don't know if he's going to do a restream. Dominic on Twitch is restreaming. I'll put a link in the chat here. It's on Twitch, so I can't do a redirect. So, wow. That was something, folks. I gotta say, the bravo to those guys there and the side scrollers. Oh, let me what is this? Okay. Anyways, yeah, thanks everyone for stopping by. Let's go see what the fireworks are with Phil's reaction. I'm fucking tired, so I can only take so much Phil. Even if he is getting roasted, there's only just so much I can take nowadays. One more check. Nope, no restreams on YouTube. Anyways, have a good night, folks.